Okay, welcome to Fantastic Dimensions. This is another session of Lamentations of the Flame Princess. This time we're going back to Clement Hughes, who we've not seen since 2 sessions ago, which I ran about 4 weeks ago, the infamous orphanage burning session, where Clement Hughes and the elf Denise were the only survivors, pretty much, from the party of that particular adventure. Now, we're going to pick up with Clement. You will have you arrived in Canterbury looking for your contact. I can't remember if I ever gave him a name, but we won't worry about it. The name's not important. You were looking for a contact within your order who said he had some information, and that's where you guys were heading off to in the first place before you came across all the weird changeling things. While there, you went to the meeting place where you were supposed to meet with your contact, and you have found 4 more members of the Guardians of the Eternal Flame, which, once I finish this kind of introduction, then we'll go through and we'll do the character introductions and everything. So they will join you now, and there was a message from your contact saying that the information for Canterbury was a red herring. However, he knows that there is a church in the town of, what do they name? Oh, the town of Dunwich, which is near Dover, not too far from Canterbury. That is hiding something. He believes that they are it's actually a secret Catholic church, because Catholicism is not a widely accepted religion in England at this time, and he believes that the Catholic Church is hiding powerful, valuable, and perhaps even some dangerous relics and artifacts somewhere in this church. This is the information he has, and he has gone on to this church and wants you to meet him there now. So I will go one by one and let everybody introduce their characters, and if you guys want to just say anything about yourselves, plug your channels, blogs, etc., whatever you want to do. So I'll start with you, Andrew. Go ahead.
Hey guys, Andrew Knapp here, aka SR2 Joker. Check out the OSG, check out the W3, Loshink's blog. I'm going to be playing Clement Hughes, who is a sartorialist, but most people would call him a tailor. In mechanical terms, he's a specialist. He's an amicable fellow that is a merchant traveling around for a secret order trying to peddle his wares while doing the order's business. He currently finds himself in possession of 300 silver spoons, which is kind of a side quest for him to offload. At the Abbey we were recently at, a horrendous experience happened. He's being haunted by it on the road as he made his way to Canterbury, seeing over and over and over the death of Malleus, who went up in flames. As he said at the end of the last episode, he lived by the flames and he died by it.
Excellent. And actually, before I go on to Danielle to introduce her character, if you want to say that you unloaded the spoons in Canterbury, you could do so. Would you want to, or would you want to hold out to try to get a better price in someplace like London or something later?
Okay, here's what I was thinking. Like, I find the local smith or whatever, and instead of selling the spoons to him, I offer him a commission to melt the spoons down into bullion.
Okay. Sure.
If that's possible.
Yeah, he could work something out like that. You won't be able to get them right now, but you'd have to come back and collect them at a later date.
Yeah, I would make sure he's done.
Business.
You know, like check other work he's done, make sure he's reputable, and then come up with some kind of payment arrangement where he would keep a certain amount of the bullion for melting it down.
Yeah, he's actually a contact. Kind of, he's not a member of the Guardians, but he's got a family member who is. So yeah, he is somebody that they do business with. So
I'm thinking like a fair price for a blacksmith would be something like 20%, but I would try to lowball him at first, come out with like 10.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, I'll let you go ahead and make a charisma roll. So just roll a d20 and modify it. No, I'm sorry, I'm thinking of the wrong game. Roll a d20 and you want to roll your charisma or lower.
Nope, I missed it.
No, he's going to take 20%. So basically he will give you bullion bars. How much would 1 silver bullion bar be worth? About, say, would it be 50 silver pieces, 100 silver pieces?
That sounds reasonable.
100 silver pieces?
Sure.
Okay, he'll give you 4 bullion bars of silver.
Okay. So I'll just, if he's making 4 bars, I'll just let him keep, or is he making 5 bars and keeping 1?
He's got enough to make 5, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good.
So he'll give you 4. So you'll have, when you return from this business done, which, because it should take him, he should be able to have it done within a week or something. Just because he does have a lot of stuff going on. Um, if you return after a week or whatever, then he'll give you your 4 billion bars, and he writes you out an official note, with his signature and a stamp on it and everything to say that he owes this money to you. Uh, you know. Okay.
Yep, sounds good.
Cool. So no longer have to lug around the 300 spoons. Okay. So Heath, you can go next.
Heath Lawmaker here, aka Bruce Wayne, dropping in from Gotham. I will be playing Agamemnon, a dwarf. I guess that's my race and class. Got a twofer. Yeah, I'm really excited about this. Never played this game before, so yay!
I can't find the mute button. There we go. Very good. Okay. Troy.
All right, so imagine this: you find yourself flying above the canopy of a heavily dense forest. You can feel the sun on your back, your feathered back. You can feel your belly is full, having eaten a half a dozen grubs that burrow into the trees below. Then suddenly, thud into your side. You feel a sharp pain, and you feel yourself plummet to the ground below. Breaking through the trees, you crash into the grass. You look at your feathered wing and you see that it's heavily damaged. There's no way you're going to get up and fly away. Then suddenly, through the brush, you see a wagging tail. It looks like a white tail, and with it you can see the grass break away in a zigzag pattern as the creature comes forward. You can hear it breathing. You can hear it panting as it gets closer and closer. Then suddenly, it's upon you. You see a beast. It grabs you in its jaws and runs. No longer in a zigzag pattern. This time, the beast slobbering over your belly, your feathers saturated with drool. It runs straight out of the grassy area that you fell back into the trees. Abruptly, it drops you at the feet of a large figure. This individual, standing tall, wearing clothes very similar to the trees around him. He stands above you like a towering, massive, two-legged creature you've never seen this close. Suddenly, blackness as the life flows through you is no more. The large man standing over the dead pheasant is Fletch Riverstrider. He's a member of the Guardians of the Eternal Flame that's been on Simpatico, hunting in the woods with his beloved dog, Whiskey Jack. He reaches down and caresses the mane of the dog, and then picks up the pheasant unceremoniously and walks back towards Canterbury. His pace is slow. He doesn't enjoy the city life. He's in no rush to get back, for in the woods is where he finds his home.
Excellent. Very good. Philip would be very proud of you, Troy. Lloyd, you want to go next?
Sure. I am Lloyd Collins. I run the channel YarldEM and the website YarldEM.com. Check it out. And I am playing today Wolfgang Ephraim Morgenstern, who is a German aristocrat, fighter, nobleman, and pompous asshole. So I'm looking forward to having him die today.
Excellent. And Josh?
I'm of course Josh from the Smoking RP Gamer, or the Smoking RP Gamer. I gotta learn to intro that right. I will be playing. I think I've got my name up here. Roderick Mason tonight. Literally just named him, so I have no idea what the character's about. But we should have fun anyway. So let's go.
Excellent. Great. Yeah, just for anybody watching, Josh and Heath are playing pre-gen characters, just that I sent over to them real quick, so. So, you guys had gathered together in Canterbury. Anyway, there's a large chapter there of the Order, the Guardians of the Eternal Flame. The four of you were met by Clement Hughes, who was on a sort of a job, as it were. Jobs kind of come and go. They're not all that common with the Guardians. For the most part, you guys are allowed to just adventure and freelance and do what you need to do. But for some reason, something important had come up, and Clement had been traveling with a group of adventurers to meet with this contact and investigate potentially a cache of, it could be valuable loot, it could be dangerous or powerful artifacts. It's still a little bit unknown, but all of these things are rumored to be possible. Unfortunately, he has lost contact with the other members of his group. One perished, as he mentioned in his intro. The other two have kind of wandered off. One went off to a village to deal with some kind of political fallout, I guess, from their first mission and hasn't returned since, hasn't been seen. The other one just kind of went off into the wilderness, having had a bit of a falling out, I guess, with the group in a sense, kind of on a moral or ethical standard, and wandered off into the wilderness himself. So Clement found himself traveling alone with a horse given to him by a warrior nun from the monastery, or sorry, from the orphanage, and the mule, the ass that he still has with him, that belonged to Father Munson, one of his other companions, who is currently missing, unknown as to what's happened to Father Munson. Yeah. So you guys are now traveling from Canterbury to Dunwich. Dunwich is down by Dover. I don't know the exact distance, but it's within a day's travel, I think, maybe 2 days, doesn't matter. We won't get into the nitty-gritty of how long you spend traveling across the English countryside to get to Dunwich. Dunwich is a very small town, basically, kind of little more than a village. Very old. The buildings are very rough construction. The one that stands out the most is at the top of a hill. It's a church. It looks to be a 2-story building with the tower itself maybe at the front being maybe 3 stories. And it's an ancient building. Looks to be, well, the rumors are, it's said that it's over 1,000 years old. As you wander into the quiet, sleepy town of Dunwich, you notice the streets are very calm. You don't see anybody about. It's middle of the day. You don't see people moving around the village. You don't see there's no smoke coming from the chimneys or anything. But you hear, it sounds like the distant sound of singing. Sounds like church hymns.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
Do I know them, the hymns? I'm a Protestant.
No.
Okay. Well, then I'll kind of just shake my head disapprovingly.
Okay. Oh, they're singing hymns I don't know, those bastards. My goodness.
They all must die.
They're singing Catholic hymns, I assume.
Is it Sunday?
No, it's not. Geez, I don't know the day of the week. It's midweek anyway.
So a town of this size, if there was a gathering at the congregation, would the town present itself as being as empty as this, as if everybody was at the church?
Seems like a logical conclusion.
All right, so maybe we should head to the area where everyone's gathered.
Midday on a Thursday seems a bit of an odd time, but you never know. Maybe something's come up.
Why would any good Catholic go to church on Thursday?
Is there any fresh graves around? Maybe someone died.
Well, in fact, as you're walking up, there is a cemetery on the left side as you're walking up the little kind of dirt path up the hill to the church, and there is a cemetery on the left side, and you can see what looks like a few freshly dug or freshly, filled in graves.
That would probably explain it.
And somebody is now, the door opens at the front of the church, and it's got this kind of arched front with like 3 doors. There's door in the center, and then there's doors on each side, kind of this. If it was a full shape, it would probably be like octagonal, but it's just the front three panels, if you will. And the middle door opens, and as it opens, the hymns get louder, and you can hear the singing is obviously coming from inside the church. You could tell this as you were approaching anyway. And a man is coming out, and he closes the door behind him, and he waves to you, and he starts trotting down kind of the hill towards you.
So Flet's going to be standing off behind the rest of his companions, and he's actually taking this goose fat and twirling it into his mustache. So he's just standing there and watching this guy approach. He's not familiar with this area, so he's just kind of aloof and just kind of watching as this guy comes to the group.
Okay.
As a kind of a foil to Fletch's masculinity, Clement takes out a handkerchief and starts wiping the sweat off of his face. He sees the gentleman waving, and he starts walking down, and he says, "What a quaint and friendly town. Let's go greet the man."
Yeah, Agamemnon pulls his axe out, wrist is up on his shoulder, ready to bury it in his son of a bitch's face. I don't know what he's about, but I don't trust him.
Yeah, Roderick's just kind of leaning against the fence, balancing a dagger on his finger. Yeah, you guys go talk to him. I don't really like people.
Wolfgang, you're the only one we haven't heard from.
Yeah, I guess smoking a dramatic pipe. I'll just stand there, take the measure of the guy, and I guess wander forward, content to watch.
So Clement and Wolfgang are walking forward. The man comes down and says, "Sirs, sirs." He says, "Welcome to Dunwich. I'm sorry you've caught us kind of at in the midst of a tragedy, as it were. What brings you to our village?" And he's a probably middle-aged man. His hair's thinning on the top, and it's quite gray. His teeth are not good, and they're very yellowed, and a lot of them are missing at this stage in his life. He's squinting as if he needs eyeglasses, but he doesn't have any.
To kind of show my purpose to the initiated without revealing what we're really doing here, I hold out my hand and I let my doublet fall off of the wrist, so my ring, that's the insignia of the Guardians, is fully visible. And I'll extend it and say, "Clement Hughes, sir, and I'm sorry we visited Dunwich at such a poor time."
He says, "Well, you have the looks of adventurers."
And nobility.
Well,
You'll address me as sir.
I beg your pardon, sir.
Good.
I meant no offense.
Yeah,
Perhaps,
you don't actually have to address him as sir.
I thought you stayed back.
You ain't
so
there.
that's offense.
I will nod my head and say, Wolfgang Ephraim Morgenstern, a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
A pleasure to meet you, Mr.
Morgenstern.
Morgenstern, yes.
I kind of chuckle at his inability to pronounce it.
Yeah.
What tragedy befell you here?
Oh, there was a group of men, 3 of them, came to our town a couple of days ago. They came under the auspices of being adventurers themselves, and all of a sudden he kind of looks nervous and he says, "You're not here under false pretenses, are you?" Clement shakes his head.
We are members of the Order of the Eternal Flame. Our intentions are very good.
I've never heard of it.
You wouldn't have.
Is that a religious thing?
No, nothing so nefarious, I assure you. We are merchants and good doers.
Well, anyway, these 3 men, they came to the town and they drank in the inn and ate some of the pie, and well, it was terrible. Anyway, they came to the church in the night and they murdered our priest and the 3 boys who lived here in the church with him, and they seem to have gone down into the catacombs beneath the church. No idea what they must have gone down there for, but we pulled up their ropes so they wouldn't be able to come back out. But we're afraid, that they may find a way out and harm us. Perhaps you would be so kind as to go down there and root them out for us.
Of course, sounds like a fantastic adventure.
The boys were only 8, 10, and 11. They were very young.
So are we able to hear this conversation from where we're standing at this point, Ian?
He's pretty excitable, so he's probably speaking pretty loudly, yeah. I don't know if you'd be able to hear Clement or Morgenstern's responses, but...
All right, so when he had said that about the church and the fact that they're actually below the whole, what appears and sounds like the whole town is inside this church, and they're celebrating above these people that have killed these young boys and stormed underneath to the catacombs, I'm finding it quite odd that they'd be all celebrating, or they're singing sad hymns for the funeral. Is that what this is?
Well, it's kind of neither. They're dedicated, dedication hymns and things of that sort.
Dirges and stuff.
Yeah, it sounds like. Well, I mean, if you put two and two together, I'll have you go ahead and roll your intelligence.
So I had to roll below it, right?
Yeah, or equal to or below.
I did not succeed.
Okay. Yeah, you're not. You're like, why are they celebrating? Well, this sounds. Yeah, it just sounds really strange to you.
Okay.
He says anyway at this point in time to you guys. He says, we've sealed them down below. Well, not sealed them, but we've taken away their only way of egress that we know of, and we've been just praying and worshiping here at the church ever since, hoping that God will deliver us from these evil men. We've lost our spiritual guide, but we've sent messengers out, and we hope that another priest will come. None of you are priests, are you? I mean, reverends.
No, I'm afraid not.
No, but I'm a man of God.
Let's just say that I was a reverend. What's in it for me?
Well, I don't know. We could offer our hospitality, and we may be able to scrounge up some kind of reward for you. Of course, your greatest reward would be in the kingdom of heaven after your passing for doing God's good work.
To the reward scrounge. I'll lead you to him or two.
Clemens kind of like pats his forehead with his cloth he has out, and he says, "Excuse my friend, he is an earthly man, and his rewards will be material."
Yeah, something a little more firm that I can feel.
Some sort of monetary recompense will be required.
Well, they were adventurers. They may have treasure on them. Obviously, if you find any treasure on them, you're welcome to keep it. We're not interested in anything of that. We're just afraid for the safety of our village.
May have will not pay for more tobacco or equipment. May have is not an assurance.
Say you pulled the ropes up, yeah.
Yes,
Well,
yes.
Wait a week. Let them bastards starve. Then we'll go down there.
Well, I suppose we could do that ourselves, but what if they find another way out? Or
So I'm sensing the fear and the fact that this individual is quite upset. So you see Flitz whistle. You hear him whistle sharply, and Whiskey Jack comes up to his side, and Flitz goes down on one knee and whispers something to the dog, and the dog flanks up around and goes up to the door of the church, and Whiskey Jack is up there sniffing at the door, and then Flitz tosses aside his cloak, and you see this very ornate silver-hilted rapier, and he looks at the man, and he says, "Don't worry, friend. If there's evil afoot, we will root it out." And I start walking towards the door. I'm not really interested in the, payment as such.
ah, good man, a man of God. Surely you will be rewarded in the kingdom of heaven.
Clemens reaches out his finger at that comment, and he says, "So we were talking about salvage rights. That is a start. Provisions, we would require provisions. Can you give us that?"
Yes, of course. I mean, we have food and drink and tobacco and all the, the basic means of daily life. We'd be more than happy. Like I said, we would offer you our full hospitality and gratitude. Anything that we can give you, we will. As far as salvage rights go, the only thing I would ask is that you do not take any holy relics or anything if you should find any in the catacombs. They are very old. The church has stood here for over 10 centuries.
What about those priest hats?
What kind of holy relics are you referring
He's
to?
looking at the dwarf like, what? You want priests' robes and hats? Like, you want to...
Ah, just the hat, laddie. Boys fancy that.
I guess I could see what I would do. I don't remember Father Bacon ever wearing a hat, but he might have something in the wardrobe. If I can have it, if I can find one, it's yours.
Fantastic.
Now, sir, what was your name again, sir?
Oh, my name is Willoughby Rockwell.
Willoughby. Okay, Willoughby. And I put my hand around his shoulder, going into my salesman routine, and I say, now, you're giving us exclusive salvage rights, but at the same time you're saying not to take holy relics. There's a gray area here. What if the thieves have procured the objects down below? If they have stolen them?
Well, I mean, are you a man of God, Mr. Hughes?
I hold up my hands. We all are men of God.
Well, I think you could trust your own judgment. You know what would befall you if you were to try to steal something of holy meaning to the church.
Thinking about it, it makes me shiver. So you will trust us, then, give us the latitude we need to destroy these men, and take from them only objects that the Lord sees fit to give upon us.
Absolutely, and we'll provision you if you need further provision. What is it you want? Do you want drink, food, tobacco? You said yes, Mr. Morgenstern, yes.
Yes.
And a hat, yes, of course.
The hat from a dwarf friend.
What does your other brooding friend over there by the fence want?
He wants to be left alone, I imagine.
Well, we can do that.
What about firearms?
Oh, we don't have anything that expensive or fancy, I'm afraid. We're just simple villagers here.
Simple indeed. Very well, I accept.
If it is the will of him, then it's the will of the order. We're in.
He kind of looks back to Fletch, who's walking already towards the church. He says, "Do you think he wants to take the dog down below with him, or will we, will we? What's the word you use? Kennel it for him, or take care of it for him, or?"
I dare not speak for him. He is one of those wild men, a ranger, and my eyes get like really high, like I'm saying something mystical.
And as Mr. Papaloons is looking over, he sees Fletch ripping out the intestines of this pheasant that he had killed earlier, and he's kind of like shaking it about, shaking the blood and gore from the dead bird's innards. And he's looking inside. I'm scouting inside to see what's going on. Now, is this a church that there would be like a bowl of holy water at the front entrance where you would like wash your hands and such as you go in?
There is, once you go in far enough, yes.
All right, so Fletch is definitely eyeing that bowl of holy water with these livers and kidneys and innards of this bird in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
he's about to approach at this point.
There's an entranceway, and then once you get in, there are fonts on each side before you enter the main nave of the church.
And to answer the question of the Willoughby, the dog is like literally at my side at all times, except for when I whistle and send him off to do his retrieving and sniffing and sight hounding and all that stuff.
How do you wish to lower him into the pit? We tie rope around him and lower him down that way?
I can carry him. He's a small dog, and I'm a large man.
You certainly are, sir.
And I mean, this is not a large dog either. It's probably like a 20 or 30-pound dog. I should be able to make it down safely with my friend. Don't worry about us.
What about food and drink? Yes, would you like?
Very, very much so.
Would you like a meal before you go? The catacombs, I understand, are quite extensive. You could be down there for a while.
I'll take your finest dwarven ale.
Dwarven ale? That's illegal.
You don't tell me.
We don't have anything of that sort here, but we do have. Well, we have some of our own homebrewed stouts and ales. We could arrange some of that for you.
Yeah, I'll try some of your piss water, laddie.
I'm going to go ahead and push off the fence and walk forward and kind of look at them. You ladies done with your sewing circle?
Yes. I think we're about to have a meal and then depart.
Do you wish to eat at the tavern? Everyone's in the church at the moment, but it'd be easy for me to get a few people back there. Or do you wish to eat in the church? You can.
I think the tavern would be satisfactory.
It'd be quite private. Everybody's in the church, so.
That sounds perfect.
Very good. He points at the building. He says, "Over there. It's unlocked. You'll find." He says, "Give me just a few minutes, and I'll have people over there straight away to arrange your food and drink." And
we can help ourselves. You don't need to send anyone. You don't need to interrupt their prayers.
Oh well, I would need to at least get the innkeeper, the tavern keeper. It wouldn't be proper otherwise. And besides, he holds the keys to the cellar and everything. So
very well.
Fletch has already gone inside by this point. DM.
Into the church or into the tavern then?
No, into the church towards the holy water. I don't know what they're called. I'm not a religious person.
They're fonts.
Right. So he's gone up to the font. So he's walked slowly, stealthily, you might say, towards one of these fonts, keeping an eye on the congregation in front of him.
Yeah, some of them are looking back at you. They all seem to be filled up throughout the nave. Some are standing. Some are kneeling up before the altar. You can see there's a big crucifix hanging down behind the altar. It looks disturbingly graphic and kind of realistic almost in its carving. And there's like kind of there's black curtain hanging behind it, and then there's a black curtain angling from each side as well, kind of along the walls behind the altar.
To make it appear to my sight that there would be something beyond that point.
Definitely would seem that way.
All right, so I'm going to, as I was saying, I'm just going to take these pieces of this pheasant that I had in my hand, and I'm going to slowly clean them in the holy water, just to clean off the little bits of grit.
Oh, jeez.
And I'm going to start eating it slowly and reaching down with my hand slowly as well to feed little portions to Whiskey Jack. So I'm just trying to scan in the area just to see if there's anything out of the ordinary going on, just to see if I can see what the gentleman had said and what I had heard from a distance.
Well, you can see there's a lot of artwork. Do you want to take the right font or the left font?
Let's say the left one.
Okay, the left font sounds good to me. There's a lot of artwork along the walls on each side of the nave. Along the wall on you've gone to the left side, and on the left wall, which is the east wall, it turns out. The first painting you see it's an incredible painting depicting the Earth, Moon, Sun, and stars coalescing from a radiant nebula. There's a signature below it, but you can't really see it. The next one down beyond it is a mostly bare canvas, except for a few splatters of red paint that could possibly be blood, looks like. Beyond that, then you see another painting that depicts a siege, it looks like. It also has a signature below it, which you can't read from where you are. Roll a intelligence, please. Just roll a d20, and you need to match or go below.
I matched it at 10.
Okay, yeah, it looks like a painting depicting a siege from the Crusades, you figure.
So this, by my understanding, is probably the one and only of these pictures that I've seen that I perceive to be a viable piece of art that would be in a house of Christianity.
So far, perhaps you have the other ones that you've seen. And then the next one on that wall, beyond the farthest one from where you're standing on that wall, is merely a painting of a large black field with it looks like there's a very small white dot slightly off center.
Very, very perturbing, this choice of art in this building. I must find out who this church is dedicated to. So there's obviously a big, crucifix of Jesus Christ up in the front of the church.
Oh yeah, the crucifix itself. I will tell you. Okay. Yeah, the figure on the crucifix anyway is especially pained and contorted, a truly hideous visage to remind all who see it of the great sacrifice that Christ made.
So even though crucifixion is a horrific way to go, this is depicted a little differently than what most would be. It's even more graphic and more...
Yeah, it's just exceptionally graphic and almost realistic looking. I mean, it's still, carved of wood or whatever, but I mean, it's like the artist, whoever made it, went to great pains to make it look as painful and real as possible.
So the practitioners in this church, do any of them stand out as being dressed oddly or, cultish or anything of the sort?
Nope, they're all just villagers.
All right, so after taking note of the strange art and cleansing my protein for the day and feeding my dog, I'm just gonna, like I say, scan around and then slowly back out of the church, not to draw attention to the individuals.
You want to know about the paintings on the other wall?
I'm not gonna walk over there, so unless I can see it from where I am as I'm scanning about, sure, why not?
So going back away from the altar on the other wall, one of them is a recreation of Da Vinci's Last Supper. In fact, looking at it, it almost looks to you, at first you think it is Da Vinci's Last Supper, and then you realize that nobody's wearing any clothes in the painting.
Very cool. That's a Last Supper I would like to be at. They're all dudes, though.
Yeah, hey, you said it, man.
Never mind. I just remember what the picture was. Okay. Scratch that. All right. So naked Last Supper.
The next painting depicts a blue sky with a few clouds and a blazing sun, as well as a constellation of stars. You're walking a little bit closer now. So the next painting you see then depicts a graveyard with a signature below it that reads Luke 12:15. You never saw what was written on the signatures of the paintings on the other side of the wall, but these ones you're getting a closer look at now as you're walking and looking. The next painting then depicts Atlas carrying the world on his shoulders with Jesus shining before him. And then the very last one that you see is a simple painting, perhaps done by a child, of an empty crucifix standing in a field of flowers with a deep red sun.
All right. As I take in this last few pieces of art, I'm going to go back out to Willoughby, and I would say to him, "Seems like your whole town is gathered to pay respects to the lost."
Well, Father Bacon was, not only the spiritual leader of our village, but really the leader of our village. We don't have a mayor or anything of that sort, of course. So,
did he also procure the art that I saw within the chapel. Some
Oh, I don't
interesting
think so.
pieces.
I think most of these have been here longer than Father Bacon's been alive.
Yes, the church. How old is the church?
Sorry, longer than Father Bacon lived, and he starts to kind of well up a little bit. Oh, the church is over 1,000 years old.
Has it always been venerated as such?
Well,
Has it always been a house of God?
of course, certainly. The crosses on the church are part of the original masonry.
Interesting. And the curtains. I assume the access to the catacombs would be beyond that point.
He says, yes, there's a pit, kind of like a well almost, that leads down. Nobody goes down there. It's it's dangerous, and we've kind of always just respected the catacombs and the church, and never gone down to explore what's down there. But these thieves and vagabonds have gone down there. We found their rope hanging when we arrived. We found Father Bacon and the boys.
So you didn't see the vagabonds, as you call them. You didn't actually see them descend into the pit, to the catacombs. Just the rope left behind.
No, but they were known to have entered the church, and were not seen coming out of the church. So where else could they have gone?
You make a good point. And at that point, Whiskey Jack goes running off towards the brush, off to the side beside a fence. And it kind of draws my attention away from Willoughby, and I go off to whistle and chirp at him to get him to return to my side.
Your companions have gone to the inn, and the innkeeper and his daughters have just gone over there to prepare food and drink for everyone, if you wish to join them.
I look around to see if I can see an obvious signage or something for the inn. I was like, which direction would that be?
He points. He says, "There, it's the most well-constructed building in the. It's not an inn. Sorry, it's more of a pub. They don't even actually have rooms. It's just the public house for the village, which in English culture historically would have been the most important building in the village. So
Right.
maybe aside from the church, but even the churches wouldn't be that important so much as the public house, unless you happen to be Catholic. But that's another story.
All right, so after I gathered up the dog, I look over my shoulder back towards the church which I had come from, and I say to Willoughby one last time, I say, the congregation, when do you expect them to disperse?
Well, I imagine they'll probably stay here for several more days, at least until Sunday. They're praying for deliverance and for protection.
All right, I will
Something like
meet
this has never happened in Dunwich before.
my fellow guardians, and we will be returning swiftly to the church to see this task you have given us completed. And I get up and I start walking towards the tavern.
Okay. So the rest of you guys are there. There was no fire going, but they've started one up, and they've thrown some fresh peat on the fire, so it gets that nice. I don't know how to explain. How would you explain that smell, Lloyd? You know it well, I'm sure. When they throw the bog on the fire.
Yeah. Turfy? I don't know.
Yeah, it's very, very earthy.
Yeah.
Very earthy, and it's actually the same kind of stuff that they use to flavor and kind of aromatize Scotch whiskies, particularly in like the Islay region. The really smoky kind of flavored and smelling whiskies. They burn it on fires anyway in this part of the world a lot of times to give it that really earthy, homey kind of feeling. And you can smell, smells coming from the back, from where the kitchen must be behind the bar, as they're cooking up some kind of a stew. Yeah, they've got plenty of drink, whatever you want. They've got it's pretty much all homemade type stuff. You know what I mean? There's no major importing or anything of that sort. But they've got ale, they've got stout, they've got whiskey, even some wine. It's not great wine, but they've got some wine.
That's the information that I gained by my little reconnaissance of the church, both about the congregation staying there for 3 days and also some of the art that I'd seen and the really, strong depiction of the crucifixion of Christ that was seen there.
Mm-hmm.
And just the general layout of the building itself, what I was able to decipher from the
just kind of telling them about this stuff.
Kind of adding on to what is revealed by Fletcher, our Fletch. I tell them, because this seems like the appropriate time, about what happened with the Saracen. And I make it really dramatic as I'm doing it, as I'm drinking down this ale, about how we traveled with an elf, and he claimed to be a holy man of a different god. They called him a dervish, but he wasn't. There's kind of like a dither dissolve in the foam of the beer, and you see him in a tree, and everything is wavy. He shoots an arrow at the Inquisitor, and my eyes kind of straighten out, and I say, he was an assassin, a reaver, and that is not the last we're going to see of him. He could appear at any time, and I don't know what his motives are, but it's clear that he is not a true guardian.
Well,
seems lots have happened since we last saw each other, Clement. What other adventures have you been on since we last saw each other 3 seasons hence?
It all started, and I recall the whole tale. I won't bore with a recap, but with the flaming incontinent vicar, and then the abbey, and then with Naylor going off to inform the father, and I believe it was Argyle.
Talk about all the innocents you guys killed along the way.
This Arab killed an Inquisitor?
No. The Arab tried. He spared the Inquisitor. I can only imagine to shame him.
No, he was an Inquisitor.
In an ironic twist of events, the Inquisitor was killed by the Holy Knights.
Sometimes those knightly orders, they get a bit too wrapped up in things.
Inquisitors, evil grows rampant on that tree.
I hold out my hand like an old chieftain telling a ghost story invoking the spirits, and I say, do not underestimate the elf, my friends. He is here and there. He travels the woods like a ghost, like some specter. The entire time we were in the abbey, he kept delivering us messages using arrows.
And a kind of a middle-aged woman. She's probably in her late 30s. She comes out with a tray bearing 5 steaming bowls and a loaf of semi-stale bread, and sets it down on the table in front of you. And she says, "There you go." She says, "Our beef stew, the root vegetables. Well, they're a little less than fresh, I'm afraid, but I think you'll find that it's seasoned quite well, and it's good stick to your ribs kind of food."
It's bread. A little bit stale, woman. Nothing fresher?
I have some greener if you prefer.
Very well. I'll just start tucking in.
Just eat your bread, Wolfgang.
Laos. The species is dying out.
I'm sorry?
So my species is dying out.
So, it's a weird conversation starter.
Yes. Funny how that.
Think you got what it takes to bring it back to life?
I beg your pardon, but I'm a married woman, sir. And she turns and stomps away.
That's all right. You can watch.
Did I see a ring on her finger, Ian?
Yeah, she did. And you can see by the way the innkeeper is glaring over, or not the innkeeper, but the publican is glaring over at you guys as he spits into a mug and he's polishing it with a dirty rag. He's glowering at the dwarf at the moment.
I just look at the dwarf. Has that line ever worked?
The innkeeper is also wearing a ring, or the publican, I should say.
Does that line ever worked? Ah! Every grade in this beer is a testament to its success.
Well, we know who in the party we can't trust.
Well, hey, even if the line works, nothing else does, right? Right? Oh.
Ooh, that's cold.
I leave satisfied.
So, slamming down a mug and seeing like the suds fly out on the table, I say, I'm just gonna come out and say it. I don't know about you guys, but I do not trust going down into that pit with the entire town and the church above us.
I agree. We're going to be there for days still. Long wake.
The innkeeper, sorry, goddamn, I keep saying it. Fucking inns, taverns, too much D&D on the brain. The publican walks over with a tray now, also with 5 mugs on it, sets it down on the table, and turns and walks away. Replacement drinks, because you've probably, well, you just finished yours for sure, Clement, and everybody else probably nearly finished theirs.
I'm going to look for spit floating in the cup.
To try to raise his
You don't
spirits,
see any.
I tell him, thanks, good fellow.
Is there like
Don't
one
mention
of
it.
those, like little like mini kegs or something just hanging around somewhere?
I have one. I can bring it out for you if you wish.
That'd be
Flip.
fantastic.
Fletch has not participated or not partook in any of this drink or food provided by these individuals. He's a bit of a hipster. He likes to grow his own food, so he's over in the hearth, if there is one, and grilling up his bird. The dog is lying down at his lap, and he's kind of just kneeling down, just grilling the bird. And he looks over to Wolfgang, and he says, "You can come have something a little fresher if the bread does not agree with you, friend." And he starts to rip apart the small bird. It's only a small morsel for each of us, but I'll gladly share.
It's very kind of you. I'll happily accept.
I don't know. I kind of think the noble here needs to learn how to deal with normal things.
You
How
would
much-
think that.
How much time has surpassed by this point? Ian, how long have we been in this inn?
Oh, less than an hour, probably.
All right, so once Fletch finishes eating, he's going to go back to the entranceway and just scan the church and see if I can see any movement, any people coming and going from there, see if it's still status quo.
Yeah, it still looks pretty status quo. The publican walks out kind of with you, and he says, "Do you smoke?"
I do not,
No,
but my dog does.
really. He says, "This is good smoke. I'd rather not share it with your uncouth friends inside, if you know who I'm talking about."
The gruff one, the little one, the stout one.
Yes. He was very offensive in the way he spoke to my wife.
He could be that way, but when it comes time to do a job, he's sure-handed as it comes. About this job, do you have any details about these individuals? Why they came to your town, why they were trusted, and then why they would kill an old man and some boys?
I do not know why they did what they did. I can only presume they were perhaps treasure hunters or demon worshippers. Don't know why they would have murdered the boys especially.
Now, with the mention of demon worshippers, Fletch's eyebrow
There
goes
are
up.
lots of witches about these days, they say.
Witches. Are there any known witches in your town that would frolic or befriend these individuals?
There are no practitioners of the black arts here, no.
And the church, does it itself have any dark histories?
It's a house of God.
So this guy's smoking a pipe, is he?
Yeah, he hasn't lit it yet. He's just holding it. but he hasn't struck the tinder stick yet. But
A house of God.
hmm.
Now, I know Willoughby had worried. He was worrisome that there would be ways out of the building for these individuals, these grave robbers, treasure seekers. Do you know of any ways in to the catacombs? Surely a man that runs such a fine establishment should know
He
the
looks back
town.
at the door, making sure it's locked. It's closed. Sorry, not locked, but closed behind him. He says, "I'll tell you what," he says. "I'll show you something if you can keep a secret."
I look him up and down and just try to get a sense of his stature and my thoughts on his abilities, if he could be trusted.
He's not a fighter, and he's quite a bit older than you. He doesn't look like he's in the prime of his life or anything.
I was like,
He's
your secret.
probably half a head, or at least half a head shorter than you, and considerably less stout.
Right, so I'm not intimidated in any way. Alright, so I say to him, your secret, please share. Open ears.
Come, I must show you.
And I go along with him, just a half step behind, just to
This
make sure
way.
there's...
And Wilson's
I follow him. And as I leave, I whistle again, and up to my side, almost immediately, out of the shadows, is good old Whiskey Jack.
Yep. So he leads you up to a farmhouse on the eastern edge of the town. And he says to you, "You know, this is where they got lodging, because we don't have rooms at the pub, you see. But they got lodging here in the farmhouse. There's something I want to show you inside. Perhaps you'll know what to make of it. It may have the key to this entire scenario, this entire situation."
Alright, so I follow him, and then when we get to the door, I listen before entering, or before even allowing him to enter. I kind of put my arm out abruptly just in front of him, just to ease him from going forward, and I just listen at the door to see if I can hear anything going on inside, any movement.
Go ahead and roll a wisdom check, please.
I critically failed by rolling a 20.
Nice. You hear nothing anyway. He says, "What is it?" He says, "They're not here anymore."
They would be in the church with the others.
Well, they should be in the catacombs well below the church, I believe, although unless they may have found another way out.
Oh, so this is the housing that was rented to the individuals before they went.
Yes. We haven't, nobody from the village has been down there for generations. There's no
Very
one
good.
down there.
So it's not like they came into your town one day and traveled to the catacombs the next day. Had been with you, scouting the area.
Well, as far as we know, they were only here for a day. You know, they arrived in the evening, in fact, and then did what they did in the middle of the night.
All right. Before we go on, what will I see inside? Please share.
He says, "There's something on the ground. I don't know what to make of it. I think it may be some kind of a marking of religious significance or something. And there's a strange item they left behind as well. It may be valuable. It's made of some kind of strange metal I cannot identify."
All right. So with my arm still extended, as he does, I stop him abruptly again with my arm extended, and I kind of ease him back. I was like, "No, old man, you wait here. I'll go on alone." And when I do that, I chirp to Whiskey Jack, and he comes up to my side again, and he starts like baring his teeth at this old man just to keep him from following me into the building.
He says, "There, they slept below the hayloft. You can see it on the ground."
All right, so I'm gonna walk in, and I'm going to be aware and to see if there's any traps or anything. Obviously, going through the door and going in just to see if they booby trapped their hideout.
No, you don't see anything, but you can see definitely where he's gesturing and telling you to look. You can see where the hay has been kind of moved around and piled up, and You definitely see some kind of a dark mark there, but it's kind of dark now. It's getting into the evening hours, so you can't really tell what it is.
All right, so is there any oil lamps or any type of... I do have torches on my person that I could light if I needed to do so to get a good look at this thing.
Yeah, no, you don't see an oil lamp or anything.
All right, so I'm going to light a torch and go over to the hayloft, being careful, obviously, not to incinerate myself inside. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I'm gonna look and scout at the objects that he had pointed out from the doorway.
Actually, it's looking down at the ground to see this dark mark in the disturbed hay. It looks like it's like some kind of thick. It's almost like blood or something. And as you're doing so, you're holding your torch. You're looking down, and you just hear momentarily a rush of air as if something extremely large and heavy was moving through the air, and something strikes you in the back, knocks you to the ground on your face, knocking the wind out of you and knocking you unconscious.
All right, so I don't see this thing approach. The last thing I hear is the whimpering of my dog.
You just know, you have that, how time goes into slow motion.
Mm-hmm.
You just think somebody's just dropped something extremely large and heavy onto you from above in the hayloft.
Okay, very good. So I'm lying there unconscious. So this blood might have been...
You hear the dog barking and snarling, and that's the last thing you kind of hear, yeah.
Okay, fade to black. I'm unconscious at this point.
Clement. Oh, I'm sorry. Trey, you want to say something before I go into that?
Don't kill my fucking dog.
I would never do such a thing, would I, Lloyd? Or Josh?
Ian hates pets.
Clement.
In a fucking heartbeat.
You're sitting there at the table. The guys, you're all in your second round. You finished your beef stew, which was actually pretty good. They actually, unlike most English villages, they don't seem to be afraid of the salt shaker here. It makes up kind of for the semi-stale bread. But you're starting to feel really groggy and lightheaded, and the room is starting to spin.
All of us?
All of you. Clement feels it first, though.
My hand goes up to my head, and my eyes narrow a bit. I think I can see even a couple spots. Poison?
I'm feeling a bit... Maybe we should get some air. Good woman.
You look around, and the room's empty except for the four of you. You don't see the barmaid or the barman. Even Fletch is gone.
Yeah, I'm going to pull the dagger from my boot, and immediately move to the door.
Okay. Roll a paralysis save, please. A paralyzed save, Josh.
Oh, God, I haven't done this in years. Come on, Lloyd.
I asked for another.
I got it.
What'd you get, Josh?
8.
So you failed.
You got to roll low. Those things get higher, don't they?
No, they get lower. You got to roll high.
Oh,
so you stand up
forget how second edition
trip over your own feet or something. You don't know, but inexplicably you faceplant on the floor, almost stabbing yourself with your own knife, but you manage not to. And your head is swimming, your nose is now bleeding, and you don't think you can get up again. And you're losing consciousness.
All right, so I see that happen, and I turn to the dwarf. Say, Agamemnon, your kind are tough. Can you stand?
You sissies can't hold your liquor. And Agamemnon at that point will try to stand while finishing his brew, smashing it on the table and hollering for another.
Yeah, he stands up. Go ahead and roll up. Actually, roll poison save for me, Agamemnon.
Okay. 12? 12. Yeah, 12.
Yeah, he stands up, keeps his legs, asks for another drink, but there's nobody around answering you.
He's talking about
So, scan the room. Does it appear as though everybody just kind of slipped away, leaving just our group here?
Yes, that's exactly what it appears to be. Your little mini keg is sitting there on the end of the bar, though. That you asked for.
Well, I take that.
Okay.
Put that in my backpack.
You should just for a second there, because there's a lot of loud background noise there. I need Lloyd and Andrew both to roll poison saves real quick, please.
Oh, an 18.
18, so you beat your poison save by how much?
Where are my saves? By 2.
Okay. And Andrew, are you there? I think he stepped away. Okay. Well, in the meantime, then we'll simply say that Clement has tried to say something and lost consciousness and face planted on the table.
Mm-hmm. So I'm still kind of dazed, I guess, but I'm able to stand up.
Well, didn't say that now. I just said that
Okay.
You're still conscious, but you can certainly try to stand up if you wish.
Yeah, I'll attempt it.
Roll a paralysis save.
Paralysis.
Paralyzed. It's the first saving throw on your sheet.
The first one. Okay. Sorry, which was poison then? Because that's the one I looked at.
The second one.
Okay, they're the same for me anyway. Okay. It's another 18.
Okay, you stand up and you keep your legs, but you don't think walking is a good idea. You got to keep your hand kind of on the table to keep from falling over. And you see the dwarf walk over and pick his keg up off the bar.
I just want to make my way to behind the bar, and just see if there's a handy little thing labeled antidote, or if there's even just clean water or something that I could drink.
Yeah, you get about halfway to the bar before your legs buckle from underneath you and you collapse to the ground.
Damn it.
And you're rapidly losing consciousness. Agamemnon, you're standing there holding your keg. You see Clement face plants on the table, just kind of like somebody who's just passed out. And you think you hear him snoring, in fact.
Okay.
The large, is he large, the German noble? I don't know why, I just think of all your characters being large, Lloyd.
Yeah, he would be, I mean, he'd be not freaky large, but he'd be tall enough. He's German, like blonde, blue-eyed, tall, athletic.
He stands up and he starts to walk towards the bar, and he collapses on the ground in a heap, breathing heavily. Just since you were away, Andrew, when your turn came up, I just said you passed out on the table.
Oh, okay.
And you started to snore. So, Agamemnon, you have your keg.
It's a good day. Well, I suppose, seeing that somehow these town folk seem to have a bit of stealth about them, uncanny stealth, they all just slipped away unnoticed. The barkeep, the waitress, were those the only people in here? Was there anybody else?
No, the only people you saw were the publican, his wife, who was serving, and there was a younger girl who was in the kitchen, and a young boy who was helping her as well, that you saw. But the only ones that were out here at all were the publican, who, now you think about it, you have a cloudy memory of him stepping out the front door with Fletch, who's also missing. And the barmaid, if you will, she kept kind of going. She's not really a maid. What would you call her? The bar wench. She kind of kept going back and forth between the bar and the kitchen, so she might be back in the kitchen.
Okay. So,
and you still have the empty mug in your other hand.
Yeah, I would like to take my mug, kind of dip my fingers inside of it, rub it around it, and take it to my nose and kind of smell it.
Smells like ale. But go ahead and roll. We'll call that a wisdom check. Go for it.
Okay. 17.
What's your wisdom?
I'm not 100% sure. You sent me the character sheet, but it's fairly difficult for me to read.
Sorry. Your wisdom is a 9. So yeah, it smells like beer, you think, and then you start to feel kind of lightheaded yourself, and you realize that you're way, way, way drunker than you should be after only a few beers.
Okay.
You feel like you've been on like a week-long bender.
So it's like holding his head, kind of pounded. They said they didn't have dwarven ale. Ah! And he's going to maneuver around behind the bar. Kind of suspicious, honestly, that everybody just disappeared and they're all out cold. And see if he can find anything, out of the ordinary that might have been being put into drinks or something of the sort.
Do you see like a strange-looking vial encased in leather underneath the bar where the barman was standing most of the night? You want to investigate it?
I would.
Okay, you pick it up. Yeah, the cap is off of it, actually, and it seems to be half full of some kind of powder inside, you think, looking at it and shaking it.
Once more, I'd like to
Roll a
bring
number
it up.
check for me, too, please.
Bring it up and sniff that, see if I can figure something out.
Ah, perfect. As you do so, a good waft of the powder goes right up your nose. and it burns.
Sounded like a line of coke.
No, but you're wasted, man. You go, and it burns. It's repulsive.
Okay, I got an 11.
You got an 11? Okay, you failed your wisdom save, so you don't hear the kitchen door open behind you, and you don't hear anything, but you certainly feel as the cast iron skillet racks you against the back of the head, rendering you completely unconscious.
All right.
Now, does anyone want to take a quick 5-minute bio break before you regain consciousness?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah? All right, let's take a quick 5-minute bio.
Cool.
I'll still be here if anybody doesn't want to go anywhere, wants to stay in chat, but... See, you're still there, Troy.
Yeah, buddy. I am still here. So
Don't
you
worry.
picked up these modules to go along with this system?
Yeah,
Or
I actually had bought a few modules before I got the system.
Oh yeah, well, it could be good, useful stuff for D&D. I mean, it's not too different, really.
No, you can run them. They're generally system agnostic. You know what I mean? Like,
is there a lot of like other material out there besides those main source books?
there's a lot of published adventures for it. Yeah. As far as like, you mean like splat books? No.
When did it first was first released? When?
Oh, I don't know. Late 90s, early 2000s, probably, something like that. I'm not 100% sure. No, it wouldn't have been that long ago. I think it's definitely in the 2000s. But this is kind of like the third edition of the book. The original one was called, I think.
Yeah, it came in like a box set, right?
The very first one was called the Lamentations of the Flame Princess Deluxe Edition, I think.
Yeah, I saw it on the RPG Brigade RPG auction site there. Somebody was selling it for pretty big dollars. But
A couple of years later, they released a Grindhouse edition, which is when they went from, I think, from a full fantasy setting to more of a 17th century kind of European setting.
right.
And then this, I don't even know what they call this edition. This is just kind of now, it's just called Lamentations of the Flame Princess. Third printing, well, that's just probably the third printing of this book, but...
Yeah, the book you have is the player core book, rules and magic, right?
It doesn't have any kind of an edition name on it anyway. They haven't even come out with a referee book yet for this edition, but he's giving away the referee book for the Grindhouse edition for free.
Is there a bestiary or anything with it?
No. you're supposed to kind of create your own.
Goddamn villagers.
I mean, the
There's
art
some-
is
I think there's
fantastic.
There's some recommendations and stuff in some of the adventures. There's some created monsters for you and stuff like that. But for the most part, you're just kind of you're supposed to just create your own unique creatures and monsters and weirdness.
None of this would have happened if the Inquisitor had been here.
Would have burned them all in the church.
He would have drank anything or eaten anything. He would have been really annoyed. Yeah, he'd just burnt the church.
Sadly,
Heresy.
I didn't offer up my peasant, or it's not my peasant, sorry, my grouse or whatever that bird thing was. Fast enough.
It was a pheasant, you said, yeah.
Yeah, pheasant. So my dog is keeping that guy at bay, I would hope.
One-man army.
Well, it depends. Would it defend you to the death? Would it?
It would. We've been together for its entire life, and yeah, there's no closer bond than me and Whiskey Jack. So.
I'm pretty sure I heard you say it's a 30-pound dog.
Yeah, it's a small dog. It will die to try and protect me from this person that I had set him upon before I got knocked unconscious. It would follow through with that order I gave it, or that request, I guess.
So if you're looking back at BFF.
Though it doesn't have any combat stats, so it probably wouldn't last long.
Josh is back. We're just waiting for Andrew, I think.
How much total elapsed time since the time we walked into Dunwich till now?
Oh, until the time you wake up, you won't really have any you won't have any way of knowing. But you were only in there for what, an hour and a half or so before all this shit went down.
Never trust a peasant.
Lots of Lovecraftian things happen in Dunwich, right? And,
Yeah, that's why I chose the name.
Dunwich Horror. It's one of the big
it's an
ones.
expansion for Arkham Horror, I'm sure. I believe.
I'd say so.
They didn't give a name for the town in the module. It just said that it's a small village kind of outside of Dover. So I was trying to think of a name, and I had D on the brain because of Dover, so I just went with Dunwich. One of the players in the last group that did this module got very nervous when I said the town was named Dunwich.
I wonder why.
Fletcher's still unawares of what's going on, right? He just got something dropped on his head. Could have been anything.
Yeah, he's not really sure what it was.
I don't know if this thing is just really well balanced or horribly unbalanced. But I can spin this dice like a top.
Yeah. Something that's
Knowing you, Josh, it's probably very well balanced to roll 20s.
Actually, no, it's pretty all over the place.
I think this blue
as
dice.
in random, like a randomizer, like a dice.
I think this blue dice I have is not balanced and that keeps rolling high.
Is that the one from the starter set?
No, I picked it up like a Chessex pound of dice.
Oh yeah.
So I haven't rolled below a 10 in like 10 rolls.
See, I always pick out my unbalanced die. Because that's not technically cheating. This thing rolls high, that thing rolls low. We're going to use them.
I never get to use them. I haven't played a home game for 6 months, so this is a nice treat to be able to roll the dice here.
Yeah, I only get to roll. Well, I play a local group, but we have been doing Numenera, and I don't roll any dice in Numenera. It's kind of a bummer,
Right.
you know, as a GM.
I'm just totally fed up with Dice Stream, man.
Yeah.
Had it.
I don't like the fiddling with it either. Kind of takes me out of it a little bit.
And I think I just threw away my die.
I think I might switch to dice in the Viking game.
I think you could trust the players out there.
Oh yeah, that was not really the concern.
No, I know.
The only nice thing about Dice Stream to me is just that you can show it for people that might watch the videos or something that aren't in the game. But
There's also a cool moment of like, as soon as you know, everyone else knows as well. There's like, oh, sort of moment, which is quite good.
Right.
But
and he's back, like a phoenix rising from the flames. Andrew Knapp, SR2 Joker.
Oh yeah.
Or as he's known today, Clement Hughes.
Papillon Clement.
Clement Doublet Hughes.
Okay, guys. Now, we'll say, just to keep it simple, you guys all kind of wake up around the same time. You are in a large kind of cavernous room almost. You can tell right away there's a thick layer of slime which you're laying in on the ground. And there's some light coming from above, faintly. And you can hear the sound of singing again. Like hymns being sung. It's coming, echoing from up above you. You look up, and you can see there's a 10-foot wide shaft in the ceiling. And you are in kind of it's a square room, about 30 feet wide by 30 feet, 30 feet by 30 feet square. And in the center of each of the four walls, there is a 10-foot wide opening, but it's dark, and you can't really see much beyond that. Like I said, you're in a giant layer pool almost of slime on the ground. And it looks like the slime runs off in all directions down each of these corridors. And as you awake, you hear the sound of a gong coming from the church above you. And a voice shouts down the shaft to you, "We're terribly sorry about this. We simply couldn't let our secret escape. Don't worry, God will know his own."
ach du meine Scheiße. Begin swearing in German. Donnerwetter, Scheiße.
You'll notice right away that you have all of your belongings except for any ammunition that you would have had for your missile weapons.
What?
So you see Fletch roll over, reaching for his quiver to try.
Anything that can be shot or thrown as a weapon is missing.
Right, so he can't find his arrows.
In place.
So he starts cursing, and you all look abruptly over to him as he's cursing when he realizes his arrows are gone. And you look upon his face, and you see one of his pupils is like extremely, extremely dilated, and the other eye is completely bloodshot. So the shot that he had taken from above the anvil type thing that had smacked him in the head had given him a hardcore severe concussion. So he's looking all around, kind of confused and dazedly trying to find his arrows, and he's cursing. And then he comes to a realization that his dog is no longer with him. So he's in full panic attack mode.
Fletch and Agamemnon, you're each missing one hit point as well.
All right. Agamemnon also pays no attention to the ranger. He's instead trying to examine the tunnel and see if there's some way for him to get his footing and climb the hell out of this thing.
I'll stand up and I'll say, everyone remain calm. We're in a very dangerous situation. We need to take note of what we have and work together to murder this entire town. Vengeance.
I just reach up, grab my head, look up. That entire line about God will know his own. He shakes his head. Since when does believing in God have anything to do with being a good Catholic?
Catholics.
Agamemnon, go ahead
Clemens.
and roll your architecture, please. You need to roll a d6, and you're looking to roll a 3 or lower.
I'm good at architecture. That's a dwarf thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yeah, I
succeeded.
got 5.
Okay. Well, right away, okay. The ceiling is 10 feet high in this room. That's where the shaft begins, the 10-foot round, wide, diameter circular shaft leading up. It's another 10 feet from the beginning of the shaft to the top of the shaft, which leads into the light of the church, you believe, where the voices and the sounds are coming from. You can tell by looking around, number one, with all the slime that you guys are covered in anyway, but also the shaft is extremely smooth. There's no way you'd be able to climb up out of it without a rope lowered from above or something along those lines, or if you were to build some kind of a ladder or something.
I do have 50 foot of rope. Is there any way I can lasso?
Who's the two tallest people in here?
I would say probably me and Troy, I would think. Since we're both fighters.
I'm going to suggest that they just get on each other's damn shoulders, make a human ladder, pull them up.
That sounds like something that a stout dwarf would say.
Well, the issue is, if only one person goes up there, there's probably 100 people in there.
Yeah, Clement sticks out his finger.
400 people, in fact.
Wow, okay.
If we are to take revenge on this town, we're going to need to find another way out and do it with a little bit of stealth and subterfuge.
I think so too. Do we have torches and stuff? Will we light some torches and maybe just get going? Does anyone have chalk or anything so we can mark walls as we go?
Dwarf, I got dark vision, don't I?
No, you don't. There's no dark vision in Lamentations of the Flame Princess.
What? Okay.
Go ahead.
Would my specialist tools include chalky in since I'm a tailor?
Yes, I would think so.
Sure.
Just so we can mark where we go, so we don't get lost.
I got fishing gear. I got some rope, like some short twine type rope I might be able to tie from the beginning to the end.
I'm sure you would also have some, some kind of writing implement and some kind of paper or something too,
sure.
For sketching things down as a tailor.
I'll just take off my jacket, man. And does Fletch still have his bow, at least?
Yeah, he does.
He's no missile weapons. So, I'll wad my jacket up real tight, bust out that, ale, and kind of put some on my jacket as, a source of fuel.
Oh, you don't have the keg.
They took it? Oh, those bastards will die.
Yeah, you don't have the little vial of powdered poison either that you were holding.
Oh, I'll still offer my jacket as some type of tinder to make a freaking torch.
What are my daggers? Did they take my daggers?
No, you have, oh, wait a minute. No, daggers could be a thrown weapon. Yeah, any daggers or hand axes that you would have had would be taken, yes.
So I have a garrote and a stick.
Technically, a stick could be thrown. Yeah, you still have your stick.
I call it a stick because it's actually a sling, but right now it's a stick.
Yeah.
Leave starting the fire to me. And I'll take my garrote, which is like an iron wire, and I'll use the blade on my specialist tool and wrap it around it like you would do with a stick to start a fire. I'll put my foot on top of the edge of the blade and start rifling the garrote back and forth, trying to make a spark.
Sure, that's a good idea. Why not?
Damn straight. So do you put the cloth down, Heath, to catch the spark?
Yes.
Does nobody have any torches or lighting implements?
I do have a torch, yes.
Oh my god.
I said I had torches earlier.
He's a ranger.
See, I don't actually know what I have. So.
I did mine right down to the last copper piece. So I do have torches, but I didn't see a flint and steel or anything in the equipment list in the book. So I assume I have that too.
Smack an axe off the wall to make it spark.
There was something in there. There's something like, I think it's called a tinder box or tinder sticks or something like that. Like matches almost, basically. You want me to tell you your equipment there, Josh?
Something, yes.
I did tell you this once before we started, but you have a garrote, you have your specialist tools, you have a sling, you have a backpack, you have 4 sacks, and you have 10 days of standard rations.
Oh, okay.
And you have
4
leather
sacks.
armor, which you're wearing.
4 sacks is what I couldn't read.
Okay. Well, I'll do the thing with the garrote and the specialist tool anyway on the ground, and as it's sparking, corroding on these scissors that I have, pulling it back and forth, I'll say to Fletch, "Give us one of your torches, quick!"
And I reach in and hand it over to you, but unfortunately it appears to be saturated in the ooze that it's been all over us, so it's a bit wet, but you might be able to get it lit.
And so I hold it up, and it's just dripping. He goes, "Mm." I stick it down and try fervorously to...
Back to the jacket, huh?
Yes, yeah. Wrap it with the jacket. That's a good idea.
Okay.
So are we able to get this thing flaming?
Yeah, sure.
I hold it up like some ancient witch doctor in a primitive tribe, like I've brought the fire down from the gods.
All triumphant.
And I'll hand it to our stout friend.
And the ranger's like, guys, I have torches.
I also have several matches. If anyone's looking for that.
Hey,
I
I
only
have a big lighter.
Don't fucking nobody speak up.
I have one additional torch, so I will also reach out and spark it off of the dwarf's torch that's lit. And at the same time, you hear a swing, and it pulls out my rapier, and you see this silver-hilted, fancy rapier. Where the rest of my clothes and materials are all very natural and very, not primitive, but very basic in appearance, this thing is very exotic and looks like it was, you know, a year's wages. It was actually a gift to my father, who was a huntsmaster for a duke. So this rapier, you're seeing it now in its glory in the torchlight, is kind of like glinting off, silver light everywhere. So Clement, who got this.
I shoulder my shield and equip it, and I draw my German steel longsword, and I'm ready to go.
It's a cute toothpick you out there, laddie. Pulls out this large bearded axe, hefts it on his shoulder.
Well, there's no more point in sitting around here. Let's go.
Well, I'm going to look to Rick holding up my garrote, and I see that that's all he has as well. And I'm going to say, well, then I suppose we'll let them to it.
Look at you. I hate these fuckers.
And I suppose I'll take the lead and look for any type of tunnel, some type of egress, and move on down it.
Well, there's no egress, but like I said, you are in a 30-foot by 30-foot square room. In the center of each of the 4 walls, there seems to be an opening, a tunnel, if you will, about 10 feet wide.
Okay, I go down one.
Which way do you wish to go?
Left.
Okay, just for simplicity's sake, I mean, we'll say we'll use directional terms. If you guys also know which direction you're going, so you want to go left, which would be west, if we're looking at a normal map. Okay. You notice the slime trail is quite thick leading down the west tunnel. You go 10 feet down and it opens into a T-junction.
Okay.
Seems to run 30 feet from your left to right before veering back off to the west, the direction you were facing. So it goes basically, you go down 20 feet, then it comes to an opening, and it's almost like a Y junction, if you will. So if you go 10 more feet to the north or 10 more feet to the south, it then does the 90-degree turn heading west again. The trail heading to the northwest is got the very thick slime on it with the trail which heads south, and then west is a thinner trail of this green slime.
I want to follow the thick trail.
And I have to roll something here. Okay, cool. You want to go north and then west again, yes?
You follow.
Is anybody mapping? Is anybody actually going to map this?
I'll turn to the specialists and kind of nod in their direction.
Yeah, I'll take out my specialist tools and start mapping this place.
And you want to now you want to also, of course, be checking for traps and things like that. You know, you want to be very careful where you're going. So you're going to be moving at exploration speed, which is 120 feet every 10 minutes. Okay. And also, as far as the mapping goes, I'm not doing it for you. So get your graph paper and your pencil.
Okay.
Very good.
I will describe it, but you're on your own for mapping.
Okay, so while he's mapping, I'll be chalking the walls also.
And we're walking really slowly at this point. Walking through this slime, is there a sound? Is it causing like a slushy sound as we walk through it?
Yeah, it's pretty viscous and sticky. You know, if you think about like walking through like kind of really thick mud, get that sucking sound.
All right, so as these guys are busy with secondary activities that they're doing, and me and the dwarf are up in front, I'm going to, doing my best to walk stealthily as I walk through these tunnels.
Sure.
Agamemnon is not walking stealthily.
I'll walk at the back with the specialists, just kind of almost behind them, making sure nothing sneaks up on them.
Okay.
So we went west. Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah. So you were in the 30-foot by 30-foot square room to start. You
Okay.
took the tunnel heading west.
Mhm.
You walked down that tunnel 20 more feet, and then came to basically a T-junction heading north or south. When you step into the 10-foot square that enters the T-junction, you guys turn to the right or north and went another 10 feet, and then there's a 90-degree angle turn to the left, which is west again.
Okay.
And just check something.
Okay. So we came out this way,
Mm-hmm.
and then we turned left.
No, sorry, you turned right. I apologize. You headed north.
Yeah, up, right.
Okay. This is
Yep.
the best you're getting, by the way.
Only 10 feet, and then you went 90 degrees to the left again, so headed west again. Now, I need to check my map for something here, my book. Ah, yes, okay, cool. I know what I'm looking at. Okay, so you continue walking down. You can go another 10, 20 feet, and then it's opening into a room which goes from the exact point where you are, it goes 10 feet further to the west, and it goes, 20 feet further to the west, and then 30 feet to the north. So just basically extend it from that point 10 more feet west and then 30 feet to the north, yep.
I hate this shit.
And at the northwest corner,
Something like that, maybe?
something like that. And at the northwest corner, just above the room, basically as an extension from the room, not an actual part of within that square, that rectangle, there is a stairway leading down. Now I need to read something here for this room. Scrawled on the west wall in what looks like dried blood, and nobody has to make a language check for this because it's written in English, are letters. The letters say D-E-U-S-E-U.
Latin? God something?
D-E-U-S-E-U.
Deus is God.
Deus. European Union. Deus, European Union. That's
Where
gotta
is
be
this-
it.
Where are the stairs leading down, guys? I can't keep up with this.
Northwest corner.
Essentially, yes. Yep, right there is an extension. Yep, just think of about a 10-foot further, 10 foot by 10 foot kind of extension. It's the stairs leading down.
What if it's directions? Down, east, up, south, east, up.
That would be too smart. Not being a linguist or a cartographer or anything of the sorts.
It's like actually what I was thinking too.
I think that's our best bet, Clement.
So
Let's just look for it this element.
Yeah, I'm
looking
fully
at
intending
it-
to go down the stairs anyway, so.
I've got my pad in front of me, and I'm thinking to myself, during my time tailoring, that shorthand directions on how to seam and cut are often done somewhere to this.
So, this is beyond this point, or from our beginning? Would you
Down the
suggest?
stairs?
Yeah, down the stairs, or does it mean down from our starting location in the central?
Well, I
It
mean,
must
it's
be from
scrolled
this point on, right?
at the stairs, right? So down, and then we go east, up, south, east, up. I mean, it's definitely worth a go.
Yeah,
I think it's our
it's got
best
to
goal.
be. It's got to be from this point forward because we've been western bound so far.
So this way.
Yes, lead on.
All right, I will begin walking down the stairs with Agamemnon, I guess.
Ed, yeah, I'm just beside you as well with the torch in hand. Going to be checking for any type of traps or anything, if that's possible.
Yeah, well, you guys moving along at exploration speed, you're kind of checking for that kind of stuff anyway. Okay. So you're going down the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just make sure where that leads to. Sorry, I've got like a 4-page map here I've got to look at. Okay. Go down the stairs, and if you want to make your next level map, Josh, you come down the stairs, and you're basically at a T-junction that heads east and west. The slime is extremely thick heading to the west, not as thick heading to the east. And I need to make another roll. Okay.
The arrow points to the next level, okay, guys? Because I'm not doing multiple maps.
And
So
You are the worst fucking specialist, I'll have you know.
when we see this room open up to the west and the east, Clemens instantly kind of has a revelation.
It's more of a 10-foot wide tunnel, but yes.
Since the corridor can possibly go to the east, there's a chance that these are directions like that. And he thinks to himself, why would somebody write directions in blood? This might have been other people marooned here that backtracked to leave these directions on the wall because they wanted us to see something, and they might have been badly wounded. That's why they chose to write it with blood.
Perhaps we should go the opposite direction.
It's at least worth a thought.
I figure whoever wrote these in blood, it didn't work out too well for them.
What was so important that they would backtrack this far through the corridors to leave the instructions there?
Maybe whatever was following them didn't come up the stairs, or wouldn't come up the stairs, so they finally got a moment to breathe.
You know, this reminds me of the time when I was by the Wheel of Morph. It's me and my 5 friends. We were traveling deep into the bowels of the earth, hunting wyverns. We were savaging our species. And then Agamemnon just going to carry on for like 10 minutes, revealing you with some ridiculous tale of his hut.
And so it's going to probably take 10 minutes for Josh to draw the stairs in the corridor anyway.
Okay, the red part is the main floor. Jesus Christ, I hate this shit.
Who is at the front right now?
I think myself and Agamemnon, and maybe Fletch.
Okay, you both need to roll a wisdom check.
Oh shit.
I'm right there as well. If it's wide enough to have 3 abreast.
Okay. All right, so it's a 3.
We'll go to 19.
Okay, Agamemnon's just telling his story. I'm not paying any fucking attention. But, Wolfgang, you hear a sound coming from the western part of the corridor. Sounds kind of like a bubbling and a slurping and a, the sounds you see in like the movies with the churning swamps and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's got that kind of a sound to it,
Okay, so which way is west, up or down?
Like the bog of eternal stench minus the fart noises.
All right, so I'll start hearing this noise, and I'll just like nudge Agamemnon, like shh.
And the noise sounds like
The story's just getting good.
Agamemnon, be quiet.
Don't hear about how we killed the wyvern.
I don't care about the wyverns. I can hear something. Shh.
If you insist.
I can hear it bubbling. Maybe it's the source of the slime.
Being a dwarf and all that, I don't know, like we live underground in this setting, would I have any type of knowledge of potential denizens that would leave trails of such and
No.
lurk underground?
No, dwarves do not leave such trails.
Dwarves.
Yep. Not even really disgusting ones.
What I was just talking about, like, would I know of anything that would?
And the sound is getting closer. And are you holding a torch, Wolfgang?
No, I'm not.
Or you're not?
I am.
I've got sword and shield, so I'm not holding anything else.
Okay. Agamemnon is.
I'm just beside, just slightly behind Wolf with a torch. Yes.
So at the edge of the light being cast by Agamemnon's torch, you can see something approaching slowly. It's on the ground, but it seems quite large. And you're just kind of staring in awe as this thing kind of oozes and bubbles in your direction. And things are extending out of it. And it's green, and it looks to be made of the very same slime that you guys have been walking through since you got down here. And in fact, I'm going to turn my camera on. Oh, I don't think I have to turn on my camera to screen share, do I?
I want to back up to the stairs.
What
So the stairs are
happens?
behind me, at least.
Start screen share and show you that. Can you see that, guys?
Nope.
Do you all see that?
No, you need to scroll down, I guess.
We just see the hand reaching up,
Oh, really?
the
Yeah.
green hand. Yeah.
Here, just the hand. Yeah, scroll down and to the right.
Down, down, down. Let's see your skills compared to Joss's
Oh,
map making.
screen share does not seem to be working too well. Hold on a second. Let me turn my camera on and see if that makes it any better.
Oh,
As
God,
you-
it's hideous.
As you back up, Wolfgang, you're going to bump into myself.
All right. When I bump into you, I will say, get her back to the
There.
stairs.
Do you see it now?
Yeah.
Man, you're good.
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ.
There's
Some
a
kind of
natural
green
abomination.
monster, and
Get
your
it.
arms and things like extend out of it, and faces are made within it, and bubbles pop up out of it, and it continues to ooze in your direction.
Pretty cool.
And
This abomination. We must flee.
it's coming from the west, right?
It is indeed.
So looking at the instructions written down, the DEUSEU, I'll yell, "It's coming from the west to the east. Let's follow the map."
Well, you're
All
in
right,
the back,
I start
so lead on.
sprinting.
Oh, I
You're-
tell a lie. I beg your pardon. Sorry, I'm getting confused. It's coming from the east, not the west.
Shit.
Oh, it's coming from the east.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm confused. Left, right, east, west. My sense of direction sucks. You're all doomed. You're gonna die down here.
So
All
run
right,
west.
so like I said, then I want to put my back to the stairs and maybe get Agamemnon next to me, so we can have the squishy people at the back.
You see how many hit points I have, Brock?
No, not you. You're not squishy. I'm saying you're at the front with me.
You have a maximum of 6 hit points there, Agamemnon, and you're down to 5 now because you lost 1 from getting flank pen.
I'm going to step up with the torch lifted in front, waving it back and forth and seeing that this creature is responding in any way to the threatening gestures of this flaming torch that I'm
Not at all.
out.
It mindlessly continues to ooze towards you. And it seems to be moving. Let me just double check his speed. I believe it moves at about a third the speed of a man.
Why don't...
Does it take up the whole corridor?
Actually, it's a quarter the speed of a normal person. So if a normal person walks at almost 4 miles an hour, this thing's moving at about a mile an hour, maybe.
Let's just outwalk it to the west.
Well,
Right, but does it take up the whole corridor, or do you think, or can we walk past it?
No, it's definitely taking up the whole corridor.
Okay.
Plus, it's got those weird arm-like
Yeah.
appendages that keep oozing up out of it and then oozing back into it. And I mean, you think you might be able to try to do a running jump and jump over it. You're not sure. There's only one way to find out.
If it follows us to the stairs, at least we'll have that elevation advantage.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking.
what?
The blue triangle's the stairs. I still don't know if there's a T-junction here or not. So.
You went the wrong way anyway, Josh. The stairs were heading kind of pointing to the north, and the corridor is going east to west.
So there's like this giant ooze monster. Meanwhile, in the back, specialist is like, "Hey, this map is look good to you."
Desperately scribbling like.
Fuck it.
Clemens is thinking.
Fuck it.
We were told at the bar and by the guy that greeted us that the other people that came before us, the criminals that came at night, and they weren't there a day. Now, if you were abducted at night and thrown into a pit, you might get your directions messed up.
Mm-hmm.
What if they had it reversed? What if east is west for them and south is north?
And down is up.
Well, the down they would know, right? Because
It's not in directions at all. Why would they use up and down and east and west?
because
we
there's
go
multiple
up
layers.
and down and east and west. Fucking ranger.
You would use the same vernacular for everything.
The creature
wouldn't
has
you?
almost reached you.
All right. Yeah. So I'm backing up to the
Keeping
stairs.
that
I'm the
close.
stairs behind me. I'm going to climb up like 3 stairs, and I'm going to lift my shield in front of me, and the sword raised, ready. And if I would encourage the specialist to get behind.
Yeah, I'll get up the stairs too.
The specialist is
One hand, axe in the other.
this specialist is totally getting behind you, but he's also throwing his paper on the ground and stomping on it repeatedly.
So I'm flanking you at this point. Torch in one hand and my rapier in the other.
Does this ooze look acidic? Is it like burning what it's touching?
It doesn't look healthy. You don't see scarring marks on the walls or floor, but yeah. And you guys have been walking through this slime, and you know, so far you're okay. But at this point, I'm going to need an initiative roll for everybody.
Okay. It's a D6, is it?
Yeah, it's a D6. Just keep track of what number you're on.
You get a dexterity bonus if you have one.
Yes, you do.
I rolled a 6. That's good.
4 for me.
I have a 2.
Okay. Who's on 6?
I'm on 6 with 4 plus 2.
So what do you want to do as it moves towards you?
Oh, so we get to choose for the whole team here.
No, you get to go on 6. It's 6 initiative right now. 5 goes next.
So I also got a 6. So how does that work? We
Well,
just
you
put it
guys go simultaneously, basically.
Okay.
So you're behind me, so I'm going to, if I am up the stairs a few steps, I'm going to attempt to leap over this thing and get to its other side.
Fantastic. Roll a dexterity check, please. You need to roll d20, roll equal to or lower than your dexterity.
Very good. That's my best stat. So. I rolled a 13, and my dexterity is 16.
Okay, you make it over it. You leap over it. Aha! And land at the in the T-junction corridor down below. You're also on 6, and the ranger is no longer in front of you. He's leaping over it. So what do you want to do with your turn, Agamemnon?
Real quick, what I have noticed, if like I had oil or something they left on me, you said they ransacked our belongings, but
Yeah. Did you have oil in your belongings?
I'm not sure.
You want me to read you your belongings again?
I mean,
No, you don't. You don't have any oil. You do have 4 bottles of poor liquor.
Ah, I have some decent wine. I don't know if that's flammable or not.
Would I suspect that this liquor is flammable?
No.
Oh, really?
No, it's
I
not.
would have thought if it was poor, it'd be more flammable.
No.
Yeah. I'll hit it with my axe.
Okay, roll a d20, an attack roll. This is your melee attack.
Okay.
What's your melee attack bonus? It's +1.
I rolled a 20 plus 1, so 21. Are there crits in this?
No.
No.
So roll your damage for your battle axe is d8.
Is this an automatic hit if you get a 20?
7.
Okay, you hit it with your axe and slash through some of the ooze, and it just continues to ooze back together and extend another weird pseudopodal type arm thing from it. Who's on 5? Anyone?
Yeah, Clemens is.
What's Clement going to do?
Well, I don't really want to cut some green jello with a razor wire, so I'm going to run up the back of the stairs.
Okay, so you run back up the stairs, back to the room where you came down from.
Yep, taking a perch so I can watch.
Mm-hmm. No problem. So you're watching down the stairs. Anybody else on 5? If not, then we move on to 4.
Okay. I will try and hack at an arm, I suppose, with my sword.
Roll an attack roll.
All right. It's total of 20, 15 plus 5.
Yeah, you're going to hit it.
All right.
Roll your damage roll.
5.
Okay. No problem. Again, you slash off like a pseudopodal arm and it just drops into it and like it absorbs it like, it's like watching lava splash up out of a pool of lava. It lands back into the lava and it gets reabsorbed and melts back into it.
So it doesn't seem to have much of an effect at all, right?
No, it doesn't seem to. It's not wailing in pain or reacting really in any kind of way except that it's still oozing towards you, slowly but surely, even though you're attacking it. Who is on 3? Nobody's on 3. So Josh, or should I say Roderick, you are on 2. It's your turn.
I draw a map.
No, he stomped on his map. He threw it on the ground, and since you guys backed up the stairs, the map has been kind of consumed by the thing.
Yeah, I'm just going to move back up the stairs.
Okay, you move back up the stairs. Then it's the thing's turn. Let's see. It has a dwarf slashing at it with a battle axe. It has a noble standing in front slashing at it with a sword, and then some other weirdo just jumped over it, so it's going to attack one or the other. So odd is Heath, even is Lloyd. It's going to attack Lloyd. A pseudopodal arm strikes out, buffeting at the nobleman. And misses. How anticlimactic. But it continues to progress, pushing you back. You have to move back up the stairs even further as it continues to move forward. And it's the next round, so we roll initiative again. Roll d6, everybody. Add your dexterity bonus if you have one.
4.
Okay. Troy's on 7. I think he's going to go first. I don't know. Yeah.
Clemens is on 4.
I don't know what Heath got yet. Oh no, Heath, you said you got a 4, yeah. So
Right.
who's missing there? I got everybody's.
Yeah, I got a 5. So.
Okay. So Clement, you got. Oh no, sorry, that's Clement, but what's the name?
Fletch.
Fletch, you're on 7. You go first.
I'm going to reach out once more with my torch, having seen the big dwarf swing at it without seeming to slow it down much with its attack, so I'm going to attempt to burn it with the torch in hand.
Okay. Go ahead and roll an attack roll.
I rolled a natural 20 on the
Yeah.
attack roll.
You stick your torch right into it,
Mhm.
and you feel the torch like go into it, get sucked almost into it, and the torch goes out instantly. And you feel it pulling you into it. Are you gonna let go of the torch, or are you gonna hold on to it?
I am going to let go of the torch.
Go ahead and roll a d6 for me, please, for your damage.
No modifiers because it's a strength. So 3 damage.
Okay, no problem. Yep. So your torch is out. No, the dwarf is still holding a torch up at the top of the stairs, so it's darkly lit. It's
Right.
dimly lit. In fact, it's probably dark where the ranger's standing now because he's down at the bottom of the.
Right. I get engulfed in the darkness as my torch gets extinguished in the gooey ooze of this green slime monster.
Yeah, and you're pretty sure you're not getting that torch back.
Yeah. No, I let go of it and I kind of fall back.
Okay. The creature is on 6 this round. So it actually has 3 potential targets now. Yeah, it turns its attention. A pseudopod reaches out and attacks Fletch now. What's your armor class, Fletch?
So non-surprise, my armor class versus melee is 16.
It hits you,
Oh, no.
doing 6 points of damage.
Alright, cool. I'm still up. I got 1 hit point left.
That hurt. It
So,
buffets you.
God, the big green, nubby.
Yeah, it's like a big green rubbery pseudopodal arm thing made of this weird slime that reaches out and strikes you.
Yep, having my bloodshot eye, I couldn't see it coming, and smashes me in the side of the face and thumps me up against the wall.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I did your leap thing wrong. It's not supposed to be a dexterity check. It's supposed to be a saving throw. That's okay. That's fine, though. Next time I know. Oh, wow. Okay, cool. Sorry, there was something I missed. Good to know. Next is, okay, that was 6. So who's next? Are you on 6, Andrew, as well?
I'm on
Clement?
4.
Clement's on 4. Okay, so it's Roderick's turn.
Yeah, I'm just watching this unfold, and I kind of look at Hughes. Suicide pact?
Agreed.
I just moved further up the stairs. I can't jump over this thing.
No, you're at the top of the stairs, so.
Moving.
The ranger jumped over it. You could try if you wanted to.
Fuck it. Let's do it. I'm gonna run down the stairs, leap off the dwarf, and try to jump over this thing.
Okay, nice. Go ahead and roll a paralyze save, please.
Oh, wonderful. Come on. Roll high. 8.
That fails, right?
Yeah, it does.
So,
It.
failed save. Okay, you try to leap over it. However, it gets to make an attack against you. It still misses you, and you just land kind of. It kind of like knocks you back, and you land right in front of it now. Basically, pushing the dwarf back in where he was standing. And next is. Actually, what did? Oh yeah, I think Heath said he was on 4, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Heath's turn, but he's away, isn't he?
Andrew's also on 4.
No, he's there. Okay. I didn't see. I saw nothing but wall behind you there. Heath, it's your turn. Agamemnon, you're muted, by the way.
So clearly physical attacks seem to be ineffective. I Man, I kind of want to get over this thing. I'm gonna look to this shield and sword wielding noble next to me. Say, toss me.
What?
Nice.
Toss me.
You're next to the initiative order there, Wolfgang.
I'll try it. What do I need to do?
Well, basically, I'm just going to give him a bonus to his saving throw.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll a paralyzed save, Heath, and add +2 to your roll.
Okay.
You should have a pretty good chance of passing this. You got good saves. Yeah, you need to roll an 8 or higher.
Oh, that's great because I rolled a fucking 6.
Oh, okay. So he tries to toss you. The pseudopod reaches up and knocks you back down, and you land right back in front of it. Kind of right in front of Wolfgang now, who's now standing behind you. After trying to help toss you over it and failing. I'll just say that was like a partial action. If you want to take another action, Lloyd, I'll allow it.
Okay. Seeing everyone try and jump past this thing and failing, I'm going to run up the stairs.
Okay, up the stairs. Very good. Andrew, what were you on this initiative order? You haven't gone yet, have you?
No, I was on 4, but I'm going to hold at the top of the stairs.
Okay, cool. And then we're back to the next round.
Sorry, when I get to the top, is there any furniture or anything in the room that's there?
No.
Okay.
You're
Usually
standing up
keep-
at the top of the stairs now alongside Clement Hughes. Agamemnon and Rick are both right in front of the creature on the stairs, and the ranger is somewhere behind it.
I will, when he reaches the top of the stairs, I will tell him, it's like gears turning in my head, what if down is falling through the hole and the directions start in that in the 4-direction room?
He's still on. There's
Yes.
5 or 6 letters on the
Clement,
wall.
I'm so glad you're here. This is way beyond my military brain.
I'm pretty sure I said that at the beginning.
I think we should try it.
Everybody roll initiative, please. D6.
2. What if down is what? What did you say?
Down from the pit that we fell through. So we go east in the first room.
Andrew, Troy, you guys roll your initiative.
Yeah, I did.
No,
I did
Andrew and
mine.
Troy.
Mine's a 7. I wrote it in there.
Oh, did you? Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't.
Yeah.
And Andrew, you're on 2. You have a dex modifier, don't you? 3.
Yeah, I'm on 3.
Okay, so first it's going to be Troy and Josh, or should I say Fletch and Roderick. But I'll let Fletch go first just because he's behind it on the other side of the creature.
Alright, so Fletch had gotten almost mortally wounded with the last strike that this creature had struck upon it and whacked him up against the wall, knocking. He was already concussed. Now he's even worse.
Yep.
He sees no way that he's going to get back over this creature to regain his, or to regroup with his party, so he's going to do what everyone knows they shouldn't do, which is split the party. And he's going to make his way, knowing that his speed is faster than the creature. I'm going to start backing up in the other direction.
East
Just
or west?
don't we have a little bit of space that we could go before we have to make that decision?
No, well, 10 feet, but...
Okay, so I'm going to go. Have we went one of the other directions previously?
Nope, you guys just came down these stairs and then they started to go back up the stairs.
So I'm gonna back up and I'm gonna go east.
And keep in mind you have no light source, so you're moving in the dark, blind.
That's fine. I'm just running my fingers across the slimy wall as I do so. I'm only going fast enough to be ahead of this creature. I want to still try and see the light source at the top of the stairs and see what my companions are doing.
You'll pretty quickly move into total darkness, but you can keep your hand along. Are you keeping your head along the wall on your left or your right?
The left.
The left. You go 10, 20, 30, 40 feet, and you come face to face with a wall. You're in the blackness. You You reach up with your right, you kind of move around, you realize you're in some kind of a room. You're not sure the shape of it, but you can't see anything. Who's next? Who else was on 7? It was Roderick.
Yeah, I'm running back up the stairs. I'm picking myself up and running back up the stairs as fast as I freaking can.
Okay. Next is Wolfgang. You see Roderick picking himself back up and moving back up the stairs. You're muted, Lloyd.
Agamemnon's on the ground in front of the monster?
Well, he's getting up from the ground. He's not like prostrate or anything. He's not prone.
And there's nothing in the room that we're in.
You're not in a room. You're standing in a stairwell. Oh, you went back up the stairs, though, didn't you?
Yeah.
So it's the room you were in before, where the writing was on the wall. It goes 20 feet from west to east and 30 feet from north to south.
And the only other way is where we came from?
Yeah, back the way you came from. There's a tunnel on the east corner going east at the southeast corner of the room, which then heads back, if you recall correctly, goes about 30 feet. You turn right and then left again, and you're back into the entrance chamber. And you can actually hear the singing again from here.
Okay. Can you delay in this game, an action?
I'll allow it, sure.
So just in case Agamemnon starts to, or trips or something, I'll run down and get him, but otherwise I'll run the other way.
Okay, so the creature goes next, and it attacks Agamemnon again, since nobody else is around it. That's going to be an 18, Agamemnon. What's your armor class?
I think it was like 15.
Yeah, it's going to hit you. It's going to do 4 points of damage. You have 1 hit point left.
Woo! Living on the edge.
And, you're also on 4, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yep, so you get to go simultaneously as this is happening.
No, I think I was on 2, actually.
Who called this thing a blog monster?
Bog monster.
I like that bog is the Australian slang for shit.
And here.
It's totally a blog monster.
Is it here? Never heard that
Well,
before.
you say you go to the bog for the bathroom.
Huh. Actually, never heard that before.
Yeah, I'm just going to run up the steps, man.
Okay, you turn and run up the steps as well. Now the party is totally split. So you're back up in that room. Who goes last? I think that's everybody. Everybody went already. Yeah, that round. Okay, so when you get back up into the room, I'm going to go back to Troy for a second. Troy, what are you going to do now that you're in some kind of a room that you think, anyway, you can't see what you're doing, but...
Okay, in the pitch black, I'm going to slowly circumvent the room to try to get a grasp of how large the room is and see if there's any exits.
It seems to be about a 20-foot by 20-foot square room. You feel the rungs of a ladder in the, what would be the southwest corner that leads up.
Alright, so I'm going to circumvent the whole thing just to make sure there's nothing else in the room, and then I'll double back to that ladder if I don't find anything else.
Mm-hmm. No? Okay. You guys back in the other room at the top of the stairs. The bog monster, as you're referring to it now, is coming up the stairs slowly in your direction.
How high is this freaking pit?
The pit? Well, like I said, the ceiling is 10 feet from the floor, and then the pit goes up, the actual well itself goes up another 10 feet. So 20 feet from the floor to the top. 10 feet of which is just empty space before you even reach a wall.
We totally could have used a human ladder.
That's what I said!
Just don't forget
Damn.
that there's like a few hundred villagers up in that church. So
Yeah, I know.
I think the few hundred villagers are going to be a lot easier to take on than this freaking blog monster.
You got a sharper axe.
what are you guys thinking?
Okay,
I
well,
look at Wolfgang. Go stand against the wall. Hold your hand out. I'm going to run at you. Put my foot in your hand. You throw me up as I jump, and maybe I get up there. Maybe I fall and die.
All right, let's try it. Let's try it. We got nothing else to do. So I'll brace myself, and when he jumps on my foot, like throw him up.
You're gonna try to throw a man. Let's see.
I'm strong. I've got an 18 strength.
Say he's about 6 feet tall. You're gonna have to try to throw him about 14 feet from the ground.
Well,
Easy.
he's throwing and I'm jumping. We're doing it at the same time.
Yes,
like
yes, I
right
do.
at the apex.
I'm gonna call that strength checks.
Okay.
Both of you.
Do you have anything you can try and embed in the wall, like a pick or something?
He does
I
not.
have a garrote.
That's not gonna work.
Can I give you my knife? A knife wouldn't go into stone, would it?
You don't have a knife.
Oh yeah. Oh, you have nothing in this game. All right, so strength check.
Yep.
Alrighty.
Come on, you are my lucky die. Lucky die.
9.
1!
Okay, and what's your strength, Lloyd?
18.
18. Okay, and you rolled a 1, Josh?
Yes.
Okay, so you hurl him up. He like kicks off the one wall, turns around and reaches out and grabs at the other wall, and he just gets his fingers right over the top, and he's hanging there. As villagers start to smack at his hands
Oh no.
and stomp on his fingers. Josh, I'm going to need you to roll a d20 for me.
What am I rolling?
D20, please.
10.
What's your paralyze save?
Oh, God. Not less than 10.
Okay, you're now falling back into the pit.
So close.
What are the chances that you're still standing there, Wolfgang, as he falls? Would you have moved, or would you have stood there looking up at him?
I don't think I would try and catch him.
So you'd step out of the way?
Yeah.
I'll give him the full damage then.
I'm dead.
It's going to be 6 points of damage.
Yeah, I'm dead.
Are you dead? You die at -3.
Okay. But I have 4, so...
You have 4, so you're at -2. You're not dead. You're probably in a coma or something with a shattered back and broken leg or something.
Yeah, I'm dead.
Clement just looks at Wolfgang and says, "Leave him! Let's go to the east! It's our only chance!"
Alright, I'm gonna try and drag his body into the corridor so that if the blog monster follows us, it'll have to slow down for a bit.
Oh, it's still coming.
Okay.
It's still
Yeah,
coming.
but then it'll have to go over him, probably absorb him. That'll take a while.
Yeah. Are you going to watch to see what it does when it reaches
No,
him?
definitely not. I'm going to take everything he has, though, all his gear and stuff, and spread it around the party.
What does he have? He has a
tools?
battle axe.
Okay.
He has a light crossbow.
Perfect.
Oh no, sorry, wrong character. He doesn't have any of that.
I was going to say,
Yes,
I don't
sir.
have
I was about to fucking say, he's got what?
He's got a garret, sling, a set of specialist tools. Those are very valuable.
Mm-hmm.
A backpack, 4 sacks, and 10 days rations. Standard.
All right, I'll take all of that and spread it around. Give those tools to Clement.
Okay.
And then just fucking peg it away in the other direction.
Okay. I'll go back to Fletch, our ranger. You're going up the ladder, yes?
That's correct, yeah. Climby climb.
Let's just see here. That leads to...
I'm assuming this ladder is not soaked in slime like the rest of this damn place.
As you're climbing up the ladder, you hear this, ringing sound. Hundreds of small bells ringing as you're climbing up the ladder that the ladder is lined with. But that's fine. You go up the stairs, up the ladder anyway, which brings you out to here. Now let me just double check this here. You're in the dark, so you still can't see. You get to the top of the ladder, and you're in a 10-foot wide corridor. Do you want to go forward or turn around and go the other way?
first, before I make a decision, I'm going to just be as quiet as I can in body, mind, and spirit, and try to determine which would be the best direction to go. So I'm going to listen and use all my senses and intuition to try and figure out which way to go. And then I'm going to roll 50-50. So
Okay.
50%, my body's telling me to go straight. Below 50, I go backwards. So I'm going to turn from the ladder and go back instead of going ahead.
You've got a wall on your right, there's an opening on your left, and 10 feet ahead of you, you come to another wall, a dead end. So you can go left if you wish.
I will do so. My body is telling me this is the way.
You go about 10 feet to the left, and immediately there's an opening on your right, and you can tell by the spatial, you can feel like the opening continues on ahead of you as well. Do you want to go right or continue on straight?
I'll continue on straight.
As you continue on straight, you realize there's no more slime on the ground you're walking in.
That's a good thing. I'm happy to experience the slimeless path, so I'll continue on that way.
You go about 30 feet down before you come to a dead end. But feeling the wall, you can feel there's some kind of like you can feel there's like the wall, there's something wrong with the wall, like a piece of it is fragile or something, like it opens up.
I'm going to listen at the wall and see if there's any noise on the other side.
You hear none.
Okay, so I'm going to take out, I still have my rapier, so I'm going to use the hilt of my rapier, and I'm going to just slowly start tapping on the stonework to see if I can get some of it to break away.
Yep. It does. It's like plaster, and it breaks away, and you realize there's just a hollowed-out piece of the wall there filled with debris and other things. It makes a lot of noise as you're smacking it up, but you can reach in, and you find a deposit of silver pieces.
Oh, yay, that's just what I need.
Well, you don't know what that is, but you find a deposit of coins anyway.
Alright, so I pocket these coins, because why not?
There's
I fully expect to
140
survive.
A lot of coins.
Ooh, 140 coins. So it was just like a little cubby hole in the wall. It wasn't a thing that I could squeeze through and or carry on in that direction.
It's literally like a treasure cache, like a little less, you know.
And that was a dead end, right? So I'm going to double back when it's my turn again and go the opposite direction that I.
So you're gonna go left this time when you get to
Exactly. Instead of going straight, I'm going to go left. Yes.
Okay. The slime gets extraordinarily thick here. And you come into basically feeling around. You come into another room that seems to dead end, but this is a bigger room. It's about 20 by 30 feet, and you're going to find feeling along the walls, and like the slime here is extremely thick. It's thicker even than it was in the entrance chamber, if you want to call it that.
So it could be a den of sorts, is what I'm getting the sensation
you find
of.
4 more of those hollowings in the wall.
I'll do the same. I'll
take whatever's in them.
Most definitely.
Okay, you find
feeling
a
around
potion.
in the dark. Potion. I like potions. Yeah.
You find a scroll and 66 more coins. You find 3 more potions and 3 more scrolls in another deposit. And in the final deposit, you find a jewel, which you can't see it. You don't know how much it's worth, but I'll just tell you for writing down in case you do get out of here alive. That jewel is worth 2,500 silver pieces.
Nice. So that goes in the gem category. Alright, so I'm fiddling around with these potions in the dark. Now, I don't know how much knowledge I would have of potions and alchemy. I can't see them. I just know that there's little vials that's got caps on them. So I'm going to just take one and I'm sitting there and I'm contemplating it. I'm thinking about Whiskey Jack that's up there somewhere in a in a town full of crazy people, and I'm in rough shape, so I'm gonna
You
swing
just
one.
chug a potion. A potion in the dark.
That's right.
Okay. Okay. You don't know the effect that it gets, but again, this is metagame knowledge. This is a potion of deep wisdom, and it means that you will double your experience award for this session.
Okay. God, if I get out of here. Sounds good.
Okay.
So I just drank the one potion, and I don't feel any immediate.
Nope.
All right, so this might be the den of this creature. I don't know. It's all slimy, even excessive compared to what we were before. I can't go forward any further at this point, so I'm
Now
going
you
to
can
start.
go back to where the ladder was if you want and go the other way.
Exactly. That's what I'm going to do. Slowly, again, with my senses as heightened as they possibly can be. I mean, it's complete silence, complete darkness. So, if I can hear that slime monster coming, I should be
About
alert.
10 feet beyond the ladder, you come to another dead end, but you find in the wall another hollowing. This one contains a potion and a scroll. Oh, just keep these written down anyway. We won't worry about what's on the scrolls right now until you can read them or something. And we'll worry about the potions if you choose to drink one. And let me just see something here. Let's see, that would be right here. How does this work? It's dark, you can't see shit. Roll your search skill. So roll a d6. Because you are reaching around and feeling for things. Nice, Lloyd. I see how quickly you turn on your friends. New mission, kill Fletch.
I rolled a 3, and
What's your search?
I assume it's just 1. I don't have any bonuses.
Okay, you find nothing else. Although you think you feel on the wall, actually, it feels like something is like engraved into the wall.
Like a
Feels
room or
like
something.
feels like letters. I'm trying to feel out what they are.
Most definitely, I'm going to rub my fingers across them and see if I can.
They're all capital. The letters seem to be E, F, F, U, G, I, U, M. Roll a language skill.
Same thing, a d6.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I rolled a 3.
Yeah. Okay.
Refugium, motherfucker.
Indeed. Refugium. Okay, I'll go back to the other guys now, because we've had a little bit of you rummaging around in the dark, and you can't see shit. Oh, I need to roll again, too, just to see if the creature is coming in your direction. Okay. Guys, you went back to where? Did you go all the way back to the entrance? Oh, yeah, you were back at the entrance chamber. You tried to hurl Josh up. Now you're putting his body in front of the corridor. So there are 3 different directions you can now go. You can go to your left, you can go straight, or you can go right. Since nobody is taking the time to draw maps at this point, I'm going to stop giving you directions.
It would be the opposed direction, like the opposite side that we came in from.
Yeah.
Okay, yep, the logic is sound. You do notice the slime trail is considerably lighter now. You guys are moving quickly, I presume, not exploring at this stage, just moving along.
I'd say a cautious hustle.
Yeah, okay. You come to a branch in the path ahead. You can go right or left. Either way seems to quickly turn back in the direction. It's basically like a mirror of the corridor you were down before.
Nothing up.
No.
So we gotta stop there and just go, fuck.
Left or right?
We have a problem, Wolfgang.
We do. This is not the right way.
Let's go right.
What if Fletch was right? He's dead. He has to be dead. Well,
You're pretty sure Roderick's dead.
oh yeah, well, we know he's dead. Well, left translates to sinister in Latin, so let's not go that way. Let's go right.
Right it is.
Okay. You go
If there's
right.
any logic to be found, that's the one we
You
find.
go right and it immediately turns left again, so you're basically continuing on in the direction you were. And you come to another room, about 20 foot wide by 30 foot long. And in this room, let me just check. Yep, the room appears to be empty.
Appears to be.
With my architectural knowledge, does anything stick out?
There is in the southeast corner a stairway leading down.
Aha!
Progress.
Fuck.
All right, let's go that way.
Options are kind of limited right now, boys.
Well, Wolfgang is leading the way down the stairs,
Cautiously.
cautiously. Get to the base of the stairs, you can continue on a little ways, and then there is another tunnel leading off to your left, or you can continue straight, and you can see that, well, yeah, you just see that it continues on straight, or you can turn left.
Continue straight, boys.
So straight.
We're so lost. So lost.
I'm looking at my map as like a prospector of just these letters I have written down, and I'm like, yes,
You
straight.
go on straight for a ways, and then it turns to the right. The only direction you can go. Turn to the right, go on straight for a little further, and you reach another set of stairs leading down.
Oh, jeez. Well, maybe from here we go down, east, up.
Maybe.
Down it is.
Tally ho!
So you head down, go straight a little ways, and you reach a T-junction on your, actually more like a cross junction. On your left side, there is a set of stairs leading up. Straight ahead of you, about 20 to 30 feet, just at the edge of your torchlight ahead of you, you can see other stairs leading up. Or you can turn to the right, and you can't quite see what's down at the end of that corridor. But you
Okay,
know
so-
that behind you, at the edge of your torchlight, there's another the stairs that you just came down, which are also leading up. And I need to roll.
Uh-oh.
Just checking. No, I'm just checking to see if the creature's caught up with you. Yeah, don't worry.
Man, we're so fast, and you said this thing was so slow, it better not have.
Surely it took like 2 or 3 hours to eat Roderick.
I know exactly how long it takes to eat one of its victims. Trust me.
So, looking at my paper, I'm like, down, and now there's an up. And east up or east? Which way is east? Do either of you know?
Left. Are we facing north?
You don't know.
Does anybody have a compass?
That would have been a good call. Hey, dwarf, you know these things. Which way are we facing?
Yeah, with my dwarf architectural knowledge.
You know that you're standing in a 10-foot wide, 10-foot tall, catacomb-like corridor of
God damn.
ancient.
What side of the tunnel is the moss growing on?
Nope.
Well,
Slime. It's all slime.
What side of the tunnel is there more slime on?
Actually, the slime trail heading to your right seems to be slightly thicker than the slime trail heading to the left or going on straight.
left
Well,
it
let's
is.
avoid the slime trail.
So you go left
Yeah,
and up the stairs.
Yeah.
I like the fucking plague.
So left and up,
Yup.
Mhm.
and we find the treasure room. All right, cool.
Did you find the treasure room, did you?
I think so, yeah.
Hmm.
Pretty sure.
You come up, okay. And the slime trail, like I said, is pretty thin here. And you go about 10 feet forward, and the corridor just turns left 90 degrees. You go down there a ways, it turns left again and right, quick little zigzag. You go down a long ways, no branches or anything, and it just turns 90 degrees left again. And then go down a little further, it turns 90 degrees right again. And you keep on going down along the right. You guys are still moving at a quick pace, or you want to start moving at exploration speed?
I would continue quickly enough.
Okay. It turns 90 degrees to the left. You go down 90 degrees to the left.
Oh fuck, that's 490 degrees.
It turns 90 degrees to the left again, or you can go on straight ahead. Remember, there was quite a few zigzags. Left, right, left, right, left, 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 right, right, left. Was it
straight?
4 lefts and 3 rights? You go on straight, okay. And you reach another. You can turn to left, you go straight. The dwarf is making percussive.
Keith, it sounds like you're joking it underneath the table, dude.
No, I'm chopping my table with my hatchet.
So what are we looking at now, Ian?
You can either turn left or go straight.
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 Go down a long ways before you reach an end, and then it just turns 90 degrees to the left.
Okay.
You go down a little bit further there, and then you can either continue on straight, following along this little slime trail here, or you can turn left.
Straight.
There's a room to the left and no slime trail.
Ooh. Yeah, go for the room.
Yeah.
Go for the room. This room, I'm not sure if the other guys are made for this room.
The treasure room. All right.
Okay, it is. It's a 30-foot wide by 10-foot deep room.
With a
In the
convenient
southeast
elevator.
corner of the room, you can see a small marble stopper plugged into the floor.
I pull that.
Wait.
Pulling out the stopper releases a great amount of steam from the pipe going deep into the ground, which escapes with a piercing whistle.
Okay.
Then what?
Nothing.
I put it back in.
Okay, the whistle stops.
We need to get out of here. Quick, sharp.
Look up. What's the ceiling look like?
What's the what?
What's the ceiling look like?
Same as everything else. No, nothing new in here.
Man, can't catch a
With
break.
my architectural knowledge, would I know anything about this steam valve? Well, what the fuck is this door down here?
The pipe must lead deep into the ground, or pressure would be heavier or something, and I'm not really sure.
Well, sticking around here is doing us no good.
Mhm.
Let's go the other way.
You go back up and turn left again, go all the way down to the end, and there are stairs leading up.
Thank God. All right, up.
Out the stairs!
And those stairs bring you to here. Ah, okay.
The farmhouse.
So you're facing another room that's 30 feet wide by, no, well, it's actually 20 feet wide by 30 feet deep.
This one's treasure, right?
Around the perimeter of this room, 3 inches off the ground, 3 feet off the ground, sorry, are a series of small thumb-sized holes exactly 3 inches apart.
Okay.
All right. I make sure my gauntlet is on nice and tight, and I put my thumb in a hole.
The hole seems to be, it's deeper than your thumb is long. You're going to examine the hole?
Yep.
Actually, when you stick your thumb in, no, sorry, you can actually feel something inside, like a coin or something.
Oh, okay. I'll take a look. Put my monocle on. Take a look.
Scrape it. You're pulling it out, or just looking into the hole?
I'm looking into the hole.
Okay. The hole looks to be about 6 inches deep. The coin at the base looks to be, hold on, let's see what it is. Looks like a copper coin.
Okay. I'll try and fish it out if I can.
Okay, yeah. It's going to take some time. You're having a hard time digging it out. There's lots of these holes, by the way, guys, you know. So.
Yeah, I'll look in some of the other ones and see if they're all copper coins or if I can see some gold or anything.
Or are you going to try fishing out this coin, or are you just going to look for the other coin?
No, I'm going to look around for the other ones.
Okay. That one has a gold coin in it.
Ooh.
That one has a silver coin in it. That one has another copper coin in it. Another copper coin. Another copper coin. Silver coin. Gold coin. There's 280 of these things.
Wow. Okay. Do we have any sort of weapon or something that could smash stone? Like a hammer?
No.
Hmm.
The ranger had a nice bow that you could probably use to poke in. He's not with you.
Well, shit. I don't know. I guess we don't have time for this, do we? Although that thing, yeah. No, we just need to go.
Let's get out of here, guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Before I carry on with you guys, I'm going to go back to Troy for a minute.
Okay,
Troy,
so
you were
before
there, standing at that dead end with the effusion written on the wall.
Alright, so I've been feeling a bit frustrated by not understanding the language in which this is written. In my mind, hazy still from being hit by the green slime monster and the thump on the head that I had taken earlier. It's going back to thoughts of the artwork that I had seen. And I remember one image clearly, and that was the graveyard. And the scripture that was written on it, Luke 12:15. And I think back to my younger days when I was a church-going young lad sitting on my mom's lap, and I remember the scripture. I remember it says, "Then he said to them, watch out, be on guard against all kinds of greed. Life does not consist in an abundance of possessions." And as that thought crosses my mind, I reach down to the bag of coins that I had received and dug out of the room just prior. And I think to myself, I would give all of these coins easily to be with my friends again and to be with my beloved Whiskey Jack. I reach in my pouch and pull out my flask of wine and take a deep swig and slowly reset my jaw and head on towards forward.
You going to go back down the ladder then?
Yeah, I have to if that's my only option.
Well, yeah, you've reached nothing but dead ends up here.
And then, yes, I'm going to go back down the ladder.
Okay. You go back down the ladder then, worrying because last time you went down here there was a creature down here. You get back down to the ladder. You remember that if you turn left here, it'll lead you back to the stairs on the left side then, which lead back up where you came from initially. You do not see the creature anywhere. When you reach the stairs, actually it would help if I rolled the right die. Once you reach the stairs, you can hear sounds up above coming, it's dark, you can't see shit, but you can hear some kind of weird bubbling up above that reminds you of the creature up those stairs, which you're certain are the stairs leading back to where you came from.
Okay, I'm going to walk up slowly, step by step, easing my way up the stairs, try not to draw the attention of it. Do I hear anything further, like it, dissolving, eating the corpse of our dead ally that had fallen? It's pitch black, I assume, at this point.
But don't forget, you don't know anything about your dead ally falling.
No, that was a metagame thing. Okay. Do I hear the creature doing anything? I mean, I'm going in complete dark.
Went back up, yeah. And brings you up here. Actually, the sound is still kind of distant. You remember, as you're feeling along, you remember the room that you're in. This is the room that had those letters scrawled on the wall. And you go back the other way, back towards, what you're sure is the entrance chamber, and you can hear the singing again now, and you can see the light up ahead of the chamber where you woke up in the first place. You can continue on that direction if you want, although you think you can see just on the edge between you and the lit chamber area, you think you can see the mass, the bubbling mass there, blocking the corridor.
So the original chamber where the villagers are up above?
Yes. So you can try to go that way, and you'd have to get over the creature again.
No, I want to get to there, and there's no way I can communicate to the villagers from my current position.
You try shouting over the creature.
But I had to go past the creature to get to that room, yes.
To get to the room, yes, but you figure if you shout loud enough, they might hear you, but they're all singing.
Right. My goal was to draw their attention and try to buy my way out of this pit with these riches that I have just got that mean nothing to me if my life is forfeit. So I do want to get past the creature somehow.
There is another way. You can go, because when you came down, you're basically at a T-junction, and you guys had gone right.
Right.
You could go the other way if you wish as well.
All right. Being that I can't.
Dark. Do you have any means of light?
No, I had 3 torches. One I lost, I assume, when I lit it to go into the room initially when I got knocked unconscious. I had given one to the dwarf, and I had used one myself that was...
Oddly enough, you still have the partially burnt torch.
I did pull it back out, but I have no way of lighting it. So.
No, not the one that you stuck into the creature, but the one that you had with you when you were in the barn.
But I still have no way of lighting it.
No. Okay, then.
Okay, I'm gonna not feeling like I'm up for the task of getting past the creature. I'm feeling quite woozy and wounded. I'm gonna go back and go the way we chose not to go initially, the first time.
Go back down the stairs and then turn left.
Actually, you know what I'm going to do, Ian? I'm going to go the way that we went originally, and I'm going to make as much noise as I possibly can. And then I'm going to listen intently to see if the creature is coming. My intent is to draw the creature to the noise, go up to the other way, and as it goes down to the corridor where the noise was coming from, then I'm going to run past it out to the open pit where the villages are.
I like it. Let me roll something here. Okay. It takes a while. Let me see just how long it takes. Your plan is going to work, but it's going to take how long? Just want to read something here. Where is the bloody thing? There it is. Oh, not too bad at all, actually. No, it only takes about 10 minutes. Then you hear the creature moving on down the other way towards that ladder. And you get your opportunity to go back up the stairs and back out to the chamber where you first came in.
All right, so when I get there, I'm going to sing congregation. Hear me, congregation. I don't know what the term is for these people. Villagers of Dunwich. Riches you can have if you assist me in getting out of this hole.
You guys can all hear this coming from the corridor on your left. Just so you know, okay?
All right, I'm pegging it immediately in that direction.
Okay.
Sprinting as fast as I can.
You can hear somebody running down one of the corridors. The corridor directly in front of you, Troy, you hear footsteps rapidly approaching.
Fletch!
Oh, and you hear a familiar voice.
A German voice. I'm like, this way, brother. And I'm going to throw a coin up, just one single coin. It's still dark, so I don't know what I'm throwing, what denomination of coin it is, but I'm gonna throw it up there to.
It's lit well enough here from the light above that you can kind of get a glimpse. They're all silver coins that you picked up, all those coins.
All right. So I'm trying to show them that what I say is truthful. So I'm throwing a few coins up there also to get their attention as I yell, knowing that it was only 10 minutes prior I had lured the creature down into the other corridor, so I have limited amount of time to get their attention and get out of this pit.
You catch a glimpse of something also off to your left, the way you just came from, where the creature was before. You can see something that looks like a skeleton on the ground.
That wasn't there before, so I know at least one of my allies has fallen.
Yeah, and you guys will come running into the room now, and you find yourselves, yep, boom, you're back in the entrance chamber that you first came in at. So you're right back to the beginning. And there's Fletch standing there.
Shit, bloody hell, we're back where we started.
Yeah,
There's-
nice to see you, by the way, Fletch.
Yeah, there's no escape the way I went. I searched everywhere. I found this, and I pull out a bag of coin, keeping the potions, and there's no identifying this game, is there?
Maybe if you're a
For-
wizard.
Yeah, which we don't have. We don't have any arcane or clerical types. So I just show it the bag of coin, and I'm like, I found this. Maybe we can pay our way out of this deadly trap.
Maybe.
How many coins did you find altogether? You total them up?
I did. I have 206 coins, 4 potions, and 5 scrolls, and a gem, which I didn't mention, that's worth considerably more.
Right.
So I got a big sack of coins. I got a big sack.
Fletch
You
is
show
down
us the scrolls.
No, I did not show you the scrolls or the potions or the gem or jewel, rather. Just the sack of coins. So I'm like biffing coins up here periodically and yelling to these villagers up above. So I don't know if you guys want to respond as you come in and see me doing this. I tell you that there's no escape the way I went. I explored the place thoroughly and I could not find a way out. But I did find a place which I think was a den of the creature. I lured it back down the corridor. Actually, I didn't go the way, north, if you will. So there's still a way we didn't go, but I'm not telling them that. I told them, this is my way out, and I'm convinced that this is the only way I'm getting out of here.
Did you find any more writings or anything? Did you find any clues, anything like that?
Yeah, I found another sketching into the wall. Let me see. You see him, and he's woozy, right? His eyes are on focus, still dilated. He says, EFFUG UM, maybe? Something like that. I can't recall. It was something similar.
You guys can all roll a languages check. That's a D6, by the way.
Okay.
I forgot the I, but that was intentional.
I know what it means.
Not you, but your character.
Motherfucking.
I nailed it.
He also misspelled it, so.
Yeah.
I did. Intentionally. I couldn't remember what it was.
That was cool. I got a 2, so I don't think I get it.
What'd you get, Heath? Did you try, even? You're muted, by the way.
Yeah, I got a 3.
Okay.
Clement
so,
got it. Nice.
Clement, though, Clement's like, was it IUM or something like that, yeah? I presume.
That's
Yeah,
what it's
so
supposed to be.
So he says that, and I'm probably gonna put 1 and 2 together. Or do you want me to do an intelligence check to see if I can make the leap?
Nope. I want to say you got it. You only misspelled it by 1 letter.
So-
You're like, oh, it's Latin.
I just raise my finger. I go, escape, escape.
Are you
And
telling
I,
me it meant escape?
I come down with my hand and I say, it means escape.
But what does that mean? It means like danger, get the fuck out of here, or this is the way to escape.
Or the means? What did you find? Just coins? Was there like a tunnel you found this in? Did it keep going?
I honestly don't know because of the nature of this dungeon crawl, but if you could help me with that, Ian.
It was in a little cubby, right, that you found it?
Yeah, there were hollowed out sections of wall that were filled with debris and plaster and just little treasure caches.
I relay
You guys
that
might have found
information.
some too if you weren't running full blast through the tunnels and taking time to search and explore.
Yeah, I explained that I found the coins in these little cubbies, and in one of those rooms I found the script and dug into the wall. Escape, escape. Or that's what you say, Clements. I have no idea what it means.
Yeah.
What all did you find with this word? Only coins?
You fucking metagame bastards.
No, we're gonna get out of here.
You found it at a dead end just past the ladder leading up where you found one of these treasure caches. Yeah.
So I'm not greedy. I obviously don't even care about the treasure. That's what I said initially. So I pulled back around my back. I said, I also found these, and I pull out a satchel and spray it across the floor, and you see,
Scrolls.
scrolls pop out. 5 scrolls and these nice canisters come rolling out. And,
what language are the scrolls in? I'll just grab it and see. Can I read it?
Yeah, they're all spell scrolls, I think. Let me just double check to make sure there's not anything else, but I think they're all spell scrolls.
So the language is not something I'd be able to read?
No. Well, you'd recognize possibly and say, oh, these are magical spells. But
Okay.
you wouldn't be able to make heads or tails of them.
So maybe that's what they mean by escape. If you found these in the hole with the word, maybe if we had some arcane understanding, these might be a way of escape.
Do you remember which treasure cache you found in that hole?
I do not remember, no.
Neither do I, so...
I'm also going to pull forth having thought back upon the scripture of Luke and talking about possessions being of little importance in the greater scheme of things. I also pull out the gem, and in this light, you can see it being this beautiful, extremely valuable gem. This jewel, and I was like, maybe we can use this to bribe the practitioners above to get out of here. I don't know how.
Roll your, or actually, I'll let you and the dwarf both roll, I guess it would be intelligence checks. Yeah, intelligence checks.
No, it's a D6.
Nope, roll D20. You want to roll equal to or lower than your intelligence.
Okay. What's up?
Is that my day?
I got a 10. Hopefully I got.
Oh shit, sorry, I muted you right in the middle of that. You said you got a 10. I heard somebody shouting in the background there. You rolled a 10, you have an intelligence of 9, so you didn't make it. What did you get, Andrew?
Sorry, let me see. 11, which I do beat my intelligence.
Okay. That's a pretty valuable gem. You know that's worth over 2,000 silver pieces.
So I take a gander at that and I just whistle.
He says, oh, yep, that's not worth much. It's plastic. Can I keep
It's worthless, yeah.
I look at Fletch and I say, I'm not going to lie to you. That thing is worth a fortune.
Looks like we're rich, boys.
You're muted, Troy.
But can it buy us freedom from this blasted place? And the guys there's a guy above us.
Ask them.
I have been asking him. I'm asking the DM now.
They're not responding.
They're not responding. I do have a 50-foot rope. There's nothing up there for me to lasso this thing. I said this initially when we first started this process.
You can try to lasso a villager maybe, but you can't see them. They're not standing at the edge of the circle.
All right, so if they're not responding to me, I'm gonna biff my rope up there and wish for the. I'm not gonna go the way that these guys came because you guys went through and didn't find an escape either.
What if we try what we tried earlier? Somebody jumps up there, and while the villagers come over and try and stomp him, we throw the rope. We tie the rope to that person, and then they try and throw the rope around the villager.
Our time is ticking. That creature will be back any moment.
What's
yeah, because that worked so well for the last guy that tried to jump up there.
Yeah.
These scrolls that we looked at, are they like of a ritualistic nature? Does it have like diagrams?
Yeah, I mean you recognize spell scrolls even if you can't cast the spells and don't know how to do it. You know, they are definitely magical spells.
Could we try it though, even?
No, I don't think so. You don't have the ability to cast them.
Right. Okay.
Well, what's your fancy, boys? We could go back to that escape ruin and look at it with light.
Yeah, I think that's our only hope.
Alright, well, we'll definitely have to go back to creature. Go back past the creature because I lured it down the corridor. The way we'll have to go to get back to where I had backtracked.
Okay, so you guys are going that way?
Now, I can explain to him my strategy that I used before, which was luring the creature up one corridor, using this main entrance as a place to hide, and then going back. So I explained to him what I did, and we can try it as a group, try to do the same again, but in the reverse of that. So have someone go north, make noise, double back here, wait the creature out, and then go south as it goes past.
Sounds good to me.
Well, you notice as you go back that the creature's not there.
Not
So
there.
go back down the stairs the way you initially went. Hang on a second there. No, can't. Okay. You go back downstairs. The corridor goes east or west. You know, you went to east, Troy. You remember very well. You don't see the creature anywhere. So you can lead them down to the little square room with the ladder leading up.
Right, and I tell them that there was a room where there was an abundance of slime, and that even though it was in the dark and I was feeling with my hands, I got the impression that that might have been his lair. And I think that's where I found an abundance of the treasure, right? I can't really recall, but I think that's where I found a bunch of this treasure.
That's where you found most of it.
Yeah, so I'm going to tell these guys that I thought that was his lair and that we should avoid that if we don't need to go that way. So if we don't need to go that way,
It is
to
up
the ladder.
Mhm.
And
All right, up the ladder it is then.
we
I'm
see
not
the
leading.
bells on the ladder.
You see what?
Was that right? Were there bells on that ladder?
Yes, there are.
So that's kind of suspicious looking. Clemens would remark, "Why put bells on the ladder?"
The creature obviously didn't do it.
Someone must dwell down here. Or must have done, and had the ladder as an alarm system.
I saw no people, but again, I did see very little. I used my touch and intuition to get through and to get back. Now that we have light, am I seeing anything different than I was perceiving earlier when I was,
No, I mean, obviously you can see where you're going now, and when you go up the ladder, you can see 10 feet ahead of you, there's that hollowed out cache in the wall which you busted out where you found some of the treasure. And on the left-hand side, you can see the word effugium written on the wall.
Ah, Fugium. I missed the I, friends. A Fugium. I'm like, I have no fucking clue.
So, looking at that, I'm going to turn to our dwarven friend and say, "Is that stone weak?"
Yeah. Heath, you can check it out pretty quickly and easily notice with your architecture, I won't even make you roll for it, that this is a secret door.
Oh shit.
Just kind of, get a little look around, and the axe hefted on the shoulder. Anything not made by dwarven hands is weak, laddies. And I fucking smash it open.
Yeah, easily. There's another square room, about 20 by 20 feet square. And there is, let me just actually read the description from the book, but I know there's a ladder leading up. Here we go. Yep, the door just south of the ladder leads to dead end. Yeah, okay, you found the ladder up. Yep, there's just a ladder leading up, and there's a little trap door at the end of it.
So I pull out my crumpled up piece of paper and I smack my finger against it rapidly. Down, east, up, south, east, up, and I throw the fucker.
you see a ghost of Roderick. He's like, my map, my map.
Yeah.
Don't leave without my map.
Alright, let's attempt it.
I approach this like I would approach a god, very slowly. I'm looking for wires or traps or anything as I approach the ladder.
You don't find any.
Seems to be safe.
I'll go first.
You go first?
Yep, I'll do it.
Yeah, the trapdoor has crates over the top of it, but they are empty, so you're able to move them.
Okay.
You come out in what looks like a storeroom. It is about, well, it's got some blocks in the corner, but it's basically about 20 feet by 15 feet in shape. There's a small door on one side of it and a larger door on another side. We'll just say, for simplicity's sake, a small door to the east and a larger door to the south.
Small door.
Okay, the small door goes.
I want to kick it in.
Goes into. Okay, you kick it in, and you can hear the singing again now.
Okay.
You can tell you're in the church.
Mm-hmm.
You kick in the small door. There are dozens of crates neatly stacked in this room, and there is another. Well, you can find it pretty easily, but there is a slightly concealed trap door in the ceiling, which leads up to the roof, from which someone could pretty easily, gain access to the roof. You figure.
Okay. And when we were outside, did you see
immediately stacked to allow access to this trapdoor? Yes, there you go.
Did the roof of the church, was it thatch? Or was it stone?
The roof looks in the picture to be thatch.
Perfect. Okay. Well, I would suggest that we get out there, we set fire to the church, we run outside, and then we bar the doors, and we burn everybody inside the fucking church.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Clemens has a
You could burn
flashback
the
too.
roof, but the most of the building is made of stone.
Okay. Well, if we bar the doors, yeah. If we bar the doors, they can only come out one way, and we'll stand there with our swords ready, and we'll fucking gunslinger style kill everyone in the town.
Now, the dwarf is like armed with poor quality alcohol, correct? He has like lots of liquor on him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We
People
can
die
frickin-
of smoke inhalation. They don't die from the fire.
That's
So
true.
they're gonna
we
fucking die.
can like take the torch and throw it back down the hatch on top of his alcohol, and then scale down the side and bar it.
Perfect. I would say we do that, and then we bar ourselves inside the inn, which seems to be the strongest building in town, or the pub.
Sounds
Use
like
it
a plan.
as a defensible place. Let's fucking do it. Let's murder 400 people.
Yeah.
You see that Fletch is in pretty rough state here. He's not in a good fighting position.
Me too.
He's willing to stand shoulder to shoulder to you, but looking at him, you don't know if he's up to the task. He's looking like he's barely on his feet.
You
You have
also
all these
know
potions. Maybe some of them will make you feel better.
hundreds of people. Statistical odds are that somebody's going to get through, maybe get a blow in.
Mm-hmm.
But you can definitely give it a shot. I'm not saying
Let's
you can't.
get- Here's what we should do.
I'm just saying.
Let's
you can
get
also
horses.
Escape.
Let's put it on fire, bar it, and jump on horses and get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Agreed.
I suppose.
Everybody happy with that?
I mean, I'd rather kill some people. These people are evil.
We can always come back.
I would, since everyone's in the church, I would walk around town and kick doors in and take everything we can find, any silver, anything like that. And then once we've done that, then we set fire to the church.
I would bar the doors before you do this, just as a precaution.
What are the windows like on the like on the side of the church?
Old.
Stained glass, kind of.
Yeah.
Because I want these people to pay for what they did. So if we take all their stuff, like in fact, if we can find a barn and burn all their food stores, that'd be great.
Yeah.
You could burn every building in the village if you want.
Yeah,
Mhm.
let's torch the entire village.
Let's do that.
So I guess number one priority is to get horses before we torch anything.
Yeah.
Let's be on horses, like raiders throwing
Yeah.
torches and stuff, just in case.
Yeah.
So I guess we discussed this plan, and then we're gonna launch it by going to the roof first.
Hmm.
Probably using rope, scaling down the side.
From the roof, it's very easy actually to get down. Let me see what it say exactly here. It did say it's pretty easy to get down from there.
Cool.
Also, at the same
So-
time, try to see if we can see our confiscated weapons. And Fletch is especially looking for the guy that lured him to the trap to begin with.
Oh, they're all in the
the
church.
innkeeper.
All in the church.
Oh yeah, well,
Yeah,
I'm
someone
definitely
can
going to
easily
want to
climb
take
down
a
to the ground or climb up the ladder on the outside of the bell tower to gain access to the top of the tower. So yeah, you can easily climb down.
Okay. If we can find horses, we would take one each and then probably kill the other horses so they can't chase us, or take them with us.
Well, do they have a wagon?
That's too slow.
Too slow. You mean too slow? It goes as fast as the horses. I thought you were trying to rob all the houses.
Horses
Being that
pulling the
I'm-
wagon are slower than horses not pulling.
Yeah.
I'm encumbered with the coins and being injured, so I volunteer myself to orchestrate the escape plan to see what I can come up with for horses and or wagons or carts.
Sure.
And do I have to like sneak past to get outside at this point?
Nope, no problem. They're inside. They're convinced you guys are still down in the dungeon. They have no clue.
All right, so I would slink through the town and at the same time do my little calls to Whiskey Jack to see if he's able to come back to me.
You find him. You find him inside one of the barns. The barn where you were attacked. He's in bad shape. He's badly hurt. He's barely alive. Looks like he's been beaten with something, some kind of farming tool or something. He's got a lot of broken bones. You figure he must have attacked and tried to defend you, and they beat him with a shovel or a hoe or something.
Right. You see me quickly rip apart my clothing and pour the wine onto his wounds and stuff to cleanse them as best I can. And I wrap it up all his wounds to stop the bleeding. And then I pick him up and walk throughout the community to try and find the horses and the wagons, and to double back towards where the companions can meet me.
Yeah, they're working horses. They're not like riding horses. They're
Yeah.
built for speed, but yeah, you can find horses.
I want to go around and just start opening doors, and if I find anything valuable in any of the houses, take it, and if I don't, just like piss on the floor and rip clothes apart and really like wreck the place as best I can.
Okay. They're pretty simple folk, but I'll say throughout the whole village, you guys are maybe able to find 2,000 gold pieces worth of various things that you can sell or whatever, or
Perfect.
coins and stuff.
All
That's throughout the entire village.
Okay. So once I take stuff, I'll start setting fires in the houses I leave, and then go to the next one and search it and set fires.
The sun is coming up now at this stage, and how are you intending to bar the doors? By the way, they don't bar from the outside of the church.
Clemens is gonna find like a chain and use his lockpicking to go around and start taking locks off of doors, and I'm gonna use them on the chain.
Yeah, there's no like handles on the outside of the door. You could just slide something between.
Yeah, probably could work something out, like wedge something. So you're gonna wedge them shut, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I'll take like a couple of the shovels or hose or something and cram them all in there.
Well, is there does the door have like actually something you could wrap a chain through?
Possibly.
It would be the same difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's got the handles, you can
The
slide
ring,
that.
the door, the handle, something like that.
Okay. So yeah, with grim determination, we go about wrecking this town, taking everything they have, and then burning it to the ground.
Yep.
Oh, the Inquisitor would be proud, except for the body count wasn't high enough.
Yeah.
I'm going to make it a point, by the way, Ian, to go to that bar, get my mini fucking keg, and that little poison shit, that vial or whatever. I want to find that and take that too.
Okay, yeah, you get half a vial of sleeping poison and a mini keg of poisoned beer.
Hey, man. Not everybody has what it takes, but I do.
Is there like a hill, like a vantage point of a hill or something nearby, Ian?
Yes, the church is on it.
Is there like another one anywhere?
Sure.
I want to, after we start lighting stuff and get it on fire, I want to ride the horse to the hill and turn around and watch.
Yeah. I want to scroll him to the ground, saying, "God punishes evil."
Eventually, the people do get out of the church. They smash out the windows and climb out, trying to put out the fires of their village as it burns. But it's too late.
I am going to kick my horse and charge down and start swinging, trying to kill people.
Okay.
Like I'm a knight effectively. I'm used to this sort of combat, so I'm just like.
How many people are you gonna try to kill?
Huh?
How many people are you gonna try to kill?
As many as I can before it starts getting to the point where I can't ride my horse freely, and then I'll run away.
Okay, let's say you get about a dozen. The second person you ride up to manages to fall down in a way that trips up your horse. Roll a
For God's sake.
roll a paralyze save, please.
Fucking 17.
17. Okay, you roll off the horse as it crashes to the ground and don't get pinned beneath of it. And they're picking up, rocks and everything and throwing them at you, and they're just trying to defend themselves.
Alright, I got armor. I'm okay. I'm just gonna run.
I'll ride down and try to get him, let him double mount on my horse.
Okay. They're calling out curses and God will curse you. And...
Hey, I yell back at him. It's nothing personal. Sorry.
You are not a man of God.
Yeah. Okay. Now that's going to be the end of that. You guys barely even scratched the surface of that dungeon. And you didn't even find the bodies of the other guys who went down there. You didn't even find the rooms that they died in.
Don't care. We're alive.
So, turn my camera back on now. I don't think I need the bandwidth for too much longer. So that will mark the end of this second expedition into the the God that crawls. Still a lot of stuff in here that hasn't been found or anything in the 2 times I've run this adventure. So I'll have to run it again for some other unknowing people. But you guys should check it out. If I can, I'll send you some information just to show you what kind of stuff you missed. So, yeah.
Cool.
So that wasn't just a pudding or ooze, that was the main villain of the whole shebang.
It is the only monster in the entire dungeon, in the entire adventure. There's only one.
That's cool, though.
Yep.
Probably not
Yeah,
designed to be defeated.
You guys were doing some damage to it, but it regenerates as well, so...
I like it.
Yeah. Cool. I'm going to end the hangout, and then we can chat. So,
Yeah,
Cool.
sounds good.
thanks for watching, anybody who did watch. And, yeah, I'll also publish the previous Adventure 2s now, because I've had it recorded, but I've just kept it kind of hidden. So,
Mhm.
cheers. Thanks for watching.